Uh, recording. So we're back again.
Here we are.
Yeah. Um. Last time, yeah, when when I had my baby's dedication thing. I don't know if I imagined it. You saying it. You said something. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but you said you had you were arrested.
Yeah, we got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, I didn't imagine that. I thought you.
Yeah,
yeah,
We didn't go to jail or
no.
anything,
yeah,
but it
yeah.
was somebody had put their hands on me, so it was like we're at a concert, a festival.
Ooh.
So
So things got a
Well,
little physical, and then the cops got a.
wait. The person saw her just put her hands on her.
Well, he slapped her butt.
yeah, as I walked by,
Yeah,
Do you know this person?
no,
no,
We went to go get a drink, a beer.
Yeah.
On the way back, like he grabbed her butt. So then she said something. We turned around, and he's like, "No, no, no." We just kind of mad.
You just well, you did, but
Yeah.
she.
So what happened? Yeah, I started fighting him, and then
Yeah.
there was other guys with him. So my brother got into it with me,
Yeah.
me and him against them, and then the cops or security guards got there. They separated everybody, but we were still kind of like hostile, I guess you could say. So they put us in handcuffs. They started roughing me and my brother up, and then she jumped in trying to save us, I guess.
Why would you do like? Why would you
yeah,
do
I was
that
just
though?
trying to de-escalate the situation, but of course that didn't
Jump on
do
the cop?
any good.
How you gonna
No, the
de-escalate
cop was separating, I guess, like
on the cop?
they
You know.
were like smashing his head down on
Yeah,
the
they were messing us
gravel,
up.
and
Yeah,
it
but
was
but
bad.
you do know that because let's say you touch the police officer and then he does something to you, you do know that he'll be gone, right? Because
Yeah.
when he sees that, it doesn't even matter whether they have a
Yeah.
taser, a gun, like he's gonna react.
Oh yeah. Well, we don't
And
even
Yeah,
know.
but it was they were security guards. They weren't even really cops. Like they had like
oh,
polo shirts with like little stitch on.
those guys.
Yeah, the real cops got there, and they were
Okay.
kind of like, "What the fuck happened?" We told the story, and then they were like, "All right, let them go." But we already had got our ass kicked, and by that time, me, her, my brother's girlfriend at the time, and my little sister were all in handcuffs. And
Those guys, those security guys, they had handcuffs.
yeah, they had
Mhm.
handcuffs.
Are
Yeah. They
they
had
for-
handcuffs and flashlights, rent cops.
really? They could have handcuffs.
Yeah, they cuffed us up, and they were like, they were pinching my throat right here, and they picked me up off the ground because I
oh my
was, yeah,
god.
man, it hurt. But I was like, let me go, like let me loose, and we'll see what happens. And they were like, no, and they just did that to me, and I'm like, fuck. I was stuck, man. I couldn't do shit. So eventually, we just kind of like chilled out, calmed down, and then, like I said, the real cops got there,
Yeah.
Texas State Troopers. They asked questions. By that time, my mom had got there because she was at the festival too.
Mm.
She got there and was like, hey, my kids are just here having a good time, blah, blah. And then I don't even know the whole story at that time because I wasn't really listening, but they eventually let us go.
Okay.
My little sister, she got pepper sprayed by the cops. So she went in a ambulance to
What were they
hospital.
doing to the guy that did the grabbing?
I don't know.
They separated
So
us.
so what had happened was, so I started fighting him, and then the
Yeah.
cop jumped on top of me, or the security guard.
Yeah.
So then my brother got on top of him,
Okay.
and then it turned into a fight against us against the security. Basically, I don't know where that guy went,
Get
but
what?
he just disappeared.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it happened. Then
Yeah.
the cop grabbed me, and my brother saw that and hit him,
Yeah.
or the security guard, or whatever. And then it just turned into like a fight against us against the security people.
Yeah.
And I guess the other guy just kind of slid out the back.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. It happened really fast. Everything, like, it was blink of an eye. We were
Was it seen like?
Yeah. People were yelling. The singer that was on stage was like, "Get those people out of here! They don't need to be here." Yeah. They gave us a negative shout out.
I don't like. I just don't. I think any guy that actually like, if it's your wife, you would.
Yeah.
Most guys will react the same way.
I
But me like hearing your story, I don't want to go through like the security guy doing all that, like the cops coming in. I mean, but that wouldn't be what I'll be thinking if at the moment when that happens,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I'm looking from the outside looking in, like, oh, this is bad. Was there any other way to de-escalate? I mean, there are several ways you could de-escalate that situation, but there's only one way men settle those sort of situations, especially if it's your wife.
Exactly.
You
That's kind of
know,
where I was at.
yeah,
I just didn't. I didn't ask no questions. She said what happened, and he looked at me like guilty, kind
mm,
of. So we just boom, like that's it. Let's go. And I think what I should have done differently is maybe not got into it with the cops. You know,
Yeah.
the cops or security, whatever they would have got there, I should just maybe like, yeah, all right, cool, whatever. But
What did you say to get him, like, to get him around? Like, what did you say after he grabbed
He
you?
was behind me.
Yeah.
So then that's whenever I turned automatically, like wondering like, hey, and then the other guy like kind of like caught that we were together.
Yeah.
And so then that's when Mike looked to see like who I was yelling at, and then I'm like, he touched me, and then that's what that from there kind of just like went
Damn.
downhill. So I mean, it just was like natural reaction, I guess. And
Yeah.
I just
That's a situation that I pray that it never happens,
yeah.
because I just don't want, because I know what is gonna happen, what I'm gonna do,
yeah.
Yeah.
but I just don't want it to happen because I just don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah, it is. It's a bad situation.
It's a bad situation.
Yeah, you
There's
don't
only
want
one
it.
way for us men to handle it, and that's why it's a bad situation.
Yeah.
Very bad. And it could have escalated into something like something much worse than what happened.
You never know. He could have had a weapon. He could have
Yeah.
a knife, like a gun, because we at that it's a festival, so it's not really like no
There's no
metal detectors.
metal.
nothing like
Yeah.
that. You just kind of pay for your ticket, you park, and you walk in. To
Yeah.
this big open field, right? And there's like food trucks, there's stands with food, there's face paint, like a festival, and then music.
Yeah.
Different stages with different
Yeah.
artists.
Yeah, we went there for the music, and we already had been drinking a little bit on the way there. We drank a lot more there, so that's another thing I think that played into was alcohol. But like you're saying, man, just as a man, that's what you're gonna do to defend yours, you know. At least that's where I come from.
I mean, that's where most men would come. Like, that's why I'm saying it's a bad situation, because there's only one way
Yeah.
to handle that, and it's about how severe it's gonna get.
Yeah.
It's about just how severe it's gonna get. That is what you're gonna try to mitigate. But that's a really bad. Because I was like, did she say she got arrested? No, she didn't say that. Like, because you said it so fast that I could have asked about it, but you like,
We were handcuffed for a little bit together, and that was like in the beginning of our relationship. So
Yeah.
we had some.
How did you feel getting handcuffed? Did you think you were going to jail or
Terrible. I
something?
mean, I've never even had a speeding ticket. I've never gotten even a ticket, let alone being detained. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is. I mean, you realize everything a little bit too late. Like, man, maybe I shouldn't have said something, or maybe I should have just like pointed it out later, or just I don't know. Maybe it's just you. There's so much that runs through your head, but you're sitting there and you're just like, damn,
When you were,
from 1 to 100.
how did the conversation go when you guys got home from that?
From what I remember, we were looking for videos because social media is a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, they recorded us
Okay.
'cause we
Yeah.
were trying to find out what the cops' names were.
Yeah.
I was looking for revenge. So I'm like, I want to know who he was. The one that grabbed me by the neck. They had slammed my head into the ground pretty bad. Like, I was on the ground.
Yeah.
On my chest.
Yeah.
My head behind my back, and they kept kneeing me in the back of my head, and my head was just bouncing off the ground. So like I was all bruised up, scratched up. So I was ready to find the guy, right? So I was like looking on the internet, social media for videos of it. I was looking up Poteet Strawberry Festival fight, all that kind of stuff. For like that evening and then the next day. And that's kind of we had tried to get my brother's girlfriend at the time. She had pictures of where like the handcuffs were all bruised up on them and stuff like that. So we were more, I guess, into that than what happened. Really, it was just we knew what the story was, and we just kind of were like, I was like, I want to find this dude, and I want to find out where he's at and where he lives, and we'll see how big he is.
Did anything come out of it?
No, I couldn't find nothing. There's no videos of it on social media. And like I said, they were just rent cops. So they were probably like people that got hired for that evening. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sure if that would have happened, if there was TikTok back then, I'm sure you would have found that person instantly. But back then, I mean, Facebook was just starting.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. It was during the okay.
It's like
Okay.
2011.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. And that was like the beginning stages of your relationships.
Yes.
Have you? Well, go ahead.
Well, we met in August of 2011. So it was around that time, really. It says everything happened so fast with us. But yeah, it was the beginning parts of our
At what
relationship.
time? Like, okay, you guys met. How long did it take for you guys to actually get married? Like, you guys met. You said October 11th,
August
August
2012.
11th.
And by September 2012, we were married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so a
that was
year,
quick.
almost a year, a little over a year.
A little over here.
Church.
No, just a small
Wait.
wedding
Okay. Yeah.
at her aunt's house
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Got married by the judge.
by a judge, and with our family and a couple friends. Nothing too big.
No, we had like 75 people there.
Yeah.
And,
That's big.
really?
75, 80. That's
Well, for a
80
wedding.
people.
Well, they're Hispanics too. I mean, that's pretty small for Hispanics.
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys, yeah. I mean, we us too,
Yeah.
but 80 people.
Mhm.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, some people just came through and like just spent a little bit of time with us and left, but it was some small.
Oh, just something small.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you remember? Do you remember you guys' first conflict? Like,
Um, do you? I think y'all remember that. Females remember that more.
yeah,
You
they.
tell. You tell.
Some of them keep theirs, man.
You tell that.
Ooh.
They write stuff down.
Not maybe not. I don't remember so much. Maybe the first one, but I knew that like a lot of the stuff, like when we first, because we moved in pretty quickly together, also.
Hmm.
But I mean, a lot of it was just always.
How long did it take for you to move?
Let's see, August, September, October, November, December, January. Maybe about 7 months.
Yeah, because
About 7 months.
I got restationed back in San Antonio to do a retraining. I went to another school to do another job in the army.
Yeah.
So I got there in January 2012.
Mm.
They let me have my apartment off base. They're like with rules, as long as you show up on time and you don't get in trouble. So then I told her, I was like, hey, you want to move in together? See how this works out. When did we move in? Like May?
April.
Or April? So April of 2012, we were living together in an apartment. And
I think before that, during that dating stage, because it was still long distance. He was still at Fort Hood, and I was in San Antonio. So a lot of that, like, still learning, talking to each other, getting to know each other still. But then, he would kind of disappear or like kind of get in his mood sometimes, and then he would be like, "Well, I'm gonna hang out with the guys," or "I'm gonna do this," or like then it would be like a pullback, and then we'd be like good again, and then be another like pullback.
Yeah. I mean, that is normal.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So that's why I was kind of like, like, are you in? Are you in it? Or are you not in it? Because I'm not really feeling this like wishy-washy stuff. I think that's where like probably some of the very first conflicts, like.
So he okay. So that okay when he told you okay you want to move in, has anything else happened prior before like made me because you moving in is a I would say taking the commitment further
yeah,
sort of yeah. So why like did anything happen or did he say anything prior to you saying okay I want to move in?
No, well, he's been spending a lot more time during like holiday block leave, like during Christmas and New Year's, and we kind of like got a lot closer and kind of like realized like we, in a sense, we were what each other were looking for. Like, maybe we gotta also kind of put our practice side and kind of just like, this is something good, let's see where it goes.
Mm.
And we're like, when we agreed to go move in with each other, we're like, we'll just split everything 50-50. That way, if it does work out, cool. If it doesn't work out, nobody loses anything. Nobody's going to be like, well, I paid this and I paid that. So we just paid everything 50-50.
Most women wouldn't if they're moving in with you paying you 50-50. No, even still they'll be like hell no I ain't paying. At least at most they would do 20%. Like you do 80, they do 20, and yeah.
I didn't have money like that at the time. I was a young specialist in the army.
Yeah.
So I had a truck payment. That was basically, I'd say 75% of my paycheck. And the rest.
This truck?
No, a different one.
Okay.
I had a Chevy Silverado.
Okay.
When I got back from training and stuff, I bought that truck. So, yeah, I mean, that's another thing about her is like, it was kind of like, I presented these like, hey, we're going to do this halfway. And she was okay with it. Like that, showed me a lot of like her character.
Yeah, and that kind of weeds
Yeah.
the women out. Like women that are ready to go, like they don't, especially when they understand the situation. They're not coming like, okay, they are putting all the burden on you immediately. Like, yeah, that's how you weed the women out. One of the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
So that's how you know.
Do you remember any, I guess, arguments or conflicts when we lived in the apartment though? So I think like all the other stuff was kind of just like a couple hours, we're mad, and then we get back, we're good.
Yeah.
So we move on from
Maybe just differences on what we wanted to do during the weekend, or like it's kind of like
So you guys didn't have any. So you guys were like, okay. So where you guys wanted to live, you guys were like in agreement with that.
Yeah, well, we knew the apartment complex and then it worked out that it was, halfway to his job, halfway to my job.
Mm.
So that worked out. Just went 50-50 on everything. I'm very clean. He's very clean. So I never had an issue where I felt like I was like, I guess like a typical, like a woman's always picking up after the man. Like I never had to deal with that. And everything, it was smooth.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think we have the differences is whenever like you would want to go, like I'm gonna go hang out with so and so this weekend, and I'm like, okay, like there'd be some times where we would like split up during the weekend, like okay, you go do your thing, I'm gonna go do my thing, or I'm gonna go hang out with my family or my friends, and he wanted to go spend Saturday afternoon with somebody or.
Wait, you had a problem with that?
No, just like, are we gonna do something together? But it like every weekend it was almost like I didn't know what it was gonna be. Is it gonna be up in the air?
Yeah.
Or I don't, cause I can't force him to do what I want to only do. I'm like, if you want to go hang out with me, like this is what I have planned. If you want to hang out with me, cool. But I'm not gonna force you because I don't want to. You want to have a good time, or But I think that it was. I think probably the only time that I can really remember that I was like.
Did you guys ever talk about how you're gonna raise the kids, like the direction, what they're gonna learn, not learn, what they're gonna stay with? Like, did you guys have any kind of?
I don't know if those were ever conversations that we had, and more so just like, we just kind of like it happened. Like, I don't think we ever sat down and was like, hey, we want her to be a homeschooler, or we want her to be public school, private school, or
okay.
we don't cuss around her. Like I know a lot of people like we don't cuss around kids. Like that's just how I talk, and I get it. Some people could turn it on and turn it off. But that's just something that I can't do.
Yeah.
So they hear us cuss. They hear us. They see us drink alcohol. We help with homework and stuff like that. So like they're all girls. So I guess as they get older in life, I want to make sure that they know that when something is not comfortable from a male to them or whoever to them, right, they need to tell me something. Because I'm going to be there to support them and help them and stand up for them if they can. But I don't think we ever sat there and was like, this is the way we're going to.
Okay.
No.
We're both from single moms. Her dad passed away when she was young. My dad left when I was young. So our mothers raised us, I think, good, really well, to where we were just like traditional Mexican Americans. We didn't have like the culture mix or a religion mix or anything like that, where it was like we need to talk about this because we don't see eye to eye on this and this and this. So I think that's another reason why.
Given that you guys come from almost the same background, the same culture, I wouldn't think that there is anything much to for there's gonna be any much conflict, or there's gonna be a little here and there, but there's not gonna be like very vast. Like, okay, this is the way I see this thing, and this is the way I see this thing.
Yeah, I think now, we kind of take, as far as parenting goes, like there's times where we do have conflicts because, he'll be stern about something, disciplining our oldest, and then she'll come and ask me, and I kind of like fold. And he's like, you can't do that because I'm trying to teach her a lesson, this way, and you can't go behind my back to do this, So.
But the moms they always get there. Even the kids would know, So
it plays both ways with us because they'll ask her something and she says no, and they come tell daddy, can you do this? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And then she comes around the corner like, I didn't know, like so it's gone both ways for us.
Yeah.
And I've got a soft heart for all three of them, so they know when she says no about something, that I'm probably gonna say yes. For us, it's like I ask, like, did you ask your mom, or what did your mom say, or vice versa? What did your dad say? Because they do that.
They try to play. Yeah, they're kids. They will be smart than that. They will try to play.
Yeah.
Do you guys do you have any member in your or maybe friends or whatever that have been divorced?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a really close friend from Colorado that they were high school sweethearts. 20 something, 20 plus years of marriage.
Yeah.
And then they split up right after. So we lived in one little town in Rifle, Colorado, and then we had to move to another town. So I got moved to another station in Montrose, which is 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And when we left, that's when they started going downhill. Not that it has anything to do with that, but it was kind of like weird because we weren't seeing them on a regular basis anymore.
Yeah.
We were kind of just learning things here and there, here and there, here and there, and then eventually she told us that they had filed for divorce and separated.
Did they tell you why?
I mean,
she talks to her more.
So she's super strong, but I think that she kind of
Was she the one that filed for the divorce?
No, he did. She was she grew up in the Catholic village. They got married in church.
Okay.
She was trying so hard to kind of keep what she could together, but he, I think he just had like an ulterior motive. Like he had his mind made up about something about another person, and I think that he was going to do whatever he needed to do to get out of that marriage. So she never.
She was your friend.
The other lady.
Yeah, the couple. Were you? He said you were talking to. Who are you talking to exactly? The man or the woman? Both of them.
He was good friends with the
guy.
And I was really good friends with the girl.
Okay.
So our kids always played together too. And
we met them from the school that our daughters went to.
Oh, okay.
Our oldest daughter and their youngest son actually in the same classroom.
Yeah.
And they're from Texas, so we kind of just started like growing together, inviting them over for a barbecue, and the rest is history. We just hit it off. Really, again, same Mexican Americans from Texas, growing up away from home, so we kind of relied on each other for a lot of things. Like they watched our kids while we went on dates, we watched their kids while they went on dates, and we just kind of grew together, really, really tight, like really like bro and sister type stuff. But her and the girl were really close. So when all this was happening, she was getting more of the information.
She didn't tell you what she did to make him want to, because it's rare for a man to want to say, okay, I'm filing for divorce. That is rare.
Yeah, I think it's still something that maybe she's still kind of like working through also, and like acknowledging, like accepting it, and also kind of realizing her part.
Did she cheat or something? What?
No, she didn't.
What did she? I mean, she must have done something.
I think there was
egregious.
Yeah, I think maybe there was just.
Or she didn't tell you?
No, she hasn't really told me, so I just don't.
You see how the story is?
He was trying to move on, is what it was. He had another interest in another female, and he was,
in the marriage. I mean, while they were still married.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, I think that's what it was. I mean, we don't know the whole true story because me and him, I didn't talk to him no more because what he did to me was kind of messed up. In my eyes, was messed up. He left his family hanging.
Yeah, they had children.
3
Yeah.
kids.
Oh, okay.
And they had moved from Colorado to Texas, and there's where it all kind of went down.
Yeah.
And he left from there, went back to Colorado to be with the other girl.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Somehow or another, like it's all kind of blurred to me because I was getting secondhand information, and I said I didn't talk to him no more. But she wanted to go back to Colorado, the female, the wife, right, or the ex-wife, whatever. And he was like in Texas the weekend before, and she's like, "Can you bring some of the stuff for the kids?" And he's like, "No, fuck that, you do it." So, like, those are your kids. Like, hey, you and her didn't work out, but that's your children. Those are your children, right? So I would have been like, "Yeah, I'll pack up the truck and take them." So she had a car at the time. So she asked us to help her, which, I got some time off from work and we went. That's what friends do for each other, right? We were really, really like close to them in general. So we went and moved them from Texas back to Colorado. But that kind of stuff just left a sour taste in my mouth about how he acted as a man, like handling his business as a father more than anything else. If you don't want to be with her, I get it. But I think you should always be there for your kids when they need you. So I didn't never talk to him no more about his side of the story, and I don't know if he would tell me the truth anyway.
Yeah, I don't
But
think they
that's
would.
kinda
You
what
never
it
get the
was.
full story with
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
other
that's what we
situation.
heard because then he ended up having a kid with that girl.
Mm.
So he moved on.
Oh, with
quick.
the other.
Yeah, the divorce happened. He's with her.
Yeah.
A kid comes out. So that's why it was
Oh,
that. I think the marriage, the wife, the ex-wife was
Yeah.
just more. She was just kind of like, what the fuck happened? You know, like it just happened out of nowhere. And I guess he wanted to break things off before he became a cheater.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
You know, because a lot of relationship that I've seen, especially here, it dissolves. 2 years max, maybe 5, it dissolves.
Mhm.
And I keep asking, do people like in your okay, Mike, what would God forbid it, of course, but is there a situation where you say I want a divorce?
I think for me, the only thing would be cheating.
See,
That's it. Like besides that, I don't know because I've never been through it. But that's the only thing that to me, right off the
Yeah.
rip, is I don't want to be with you.
but what about the children though?
I can figure out how to. I mean, tell them.
No, like you. So you wouldn't say you would stay for the kids?
No, not in that. Not when it comes to that because we've had our ups and downs.
Yeah.
So there's been times where I'm ready to leave, but it's the girls that keep me there, right?
Yeah.
And we work on things and stuff like that. But I think cheating would be the only thing that would not hold. Nobody could stop me from like not being with her, even the girls. They would have to just. I would tell the truth. Like this is why I'm not going to be around no more. And so it's not like they're guessing or why
Yeah.
what happened with mom and dad and all this other stuff. But I just couldn't.
What if that you leaving would cause them to go through, because now that, I mean, you leave, obviously by law she's going to get majority of the cost of the time.
Mhm.
Now you're not in the house, she's by herself with the children, not covered, not protected.
Yeah.
The children are now susceptible to external influences.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, and I would try to be there as much as I can, like every day, pick them up from school,
Yeah.
take them to eat, do stuff.
So
like
there's
that.
no world you can just suck it up.
No, not when it comes to cheating.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only one. Like differences, I don't know, financial maybe. Like she blew all her money or something like that. We work that out, figure it out. What else do people separate?
It's money.
Ah,
Money, actually.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the number one, money.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like that stuff. I mean, we can figure it out. Money comes and goes. There's ways to make it back and stuff. Like
If
that.
he loses, like, okay, you go to your bank account. I don't know if you guys have a joint, but you go to, like, he's lost. He lost everything. Maybe he gambled it all away or something like that. How would you feel about that?
I mean, I would definitely be upset, but I mean, it becomes also like, is this something because we're not able to keep up with the bills, versus because
Yeah.
you have a gambling addiction, or you're just being reckless, like you're continuously making reckless decisions and not considering that you have a family to help support, or that plays a lot into it also. Like if this is going to be something you want to do, you're just going to continuously be selfish and make these decisions, then we don't need to be together.
But like, what do you? Okay, you find out he's impulsive.
I am. Like that's something that I struggle with. Like,
But is it with money or with other things?
just anything.
Oh, anything.
Drinking,
Okay.
Like
Okay.
going out to eat.
Yeah.
The weekend, like I want to get out of the house. I want to go.
But there are degrees to it. I'm talking about like you ain't even got money to pay the mortgage.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about. Like,
Never
yeah.
been that way.
No,
Never been
it's,
that way.
he is impulsive, but never to the point where it's ever put us in like a financial constraint.
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said there are degrees to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm also impulsive when it comes to anything sports. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I find it difficult. Like my wife would kind of like, she would be mad that I wouldn't spend $20 on buying, like, those are good shoes.
Mhm.
I don't know how much that is, but I would never buy that because I would think, nah, I ain't gotta wear that. But I would spend $500, $600 on soccer cleats.
Oh.
Yeah. And that really bothers her. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? You you wouldn't buy a $20 shirt, but you would buy a $500 jersey. Like, that is something that really, but so I'm impulsive that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if he's impulsive with this money,
Mhm.
would that be a deal breaker for you?
If it put us in a financial situation where we're
Yeah.
like having to pick and choose
Yeah.
about groceries or mortgage or what bill we're gonna pay, then it would definitely be a deal breaker, something we need to discuss or he needs to get counseling for. But I mean, I feel like everybody kind of like buys or puts their money towards what's important to them or what they like. So I mean, I would never try and tell them, no, you can't do this. Like that's his hard-earned money. Also, the bills are paid. That's good.
Yeah.
How you spend your money after that is fine. Like as long as we're always taken care of. We've never gone without. If even with his like impulsive decisions, because there's times where he can like be thinking about it and like get it, and all it takes is he's gonna buy tickets to another Cowboys game or to buy something, then he thinks, should I? There's a little bit of reason kind of comes in at the end, and half the time he doesn't fully go through with it, but.
Yeah, because I look to her, even though like I want to do something, I'm like,
yeah, you kind of think now,
like, I don't know if that's smart. I'm like, all right, cool, and I'll still marinate on it for a little bit, and like, fuck. I mean, what's it gonna hurt? Like, is it gonna be detrimental? But but she's the better financial sound person in our marriage.
I kind of like. He's like, well, should I do? I'm like, well, you got to consider this, and that. I said, but ultimately, do what you want to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
You make that decision.
But I have toward my paycheck, all the bills go to one account, and then all gets withdrawn from there, and that comes out automatically.
Yeah, okay.
And then the rest of the money gets split in my 2 paychecks.
Yeah.
So that's like my play money or whatever, right? So that's always going to be there. There's always going to be light. There's always going to be water. There's always going to be food in the house. So that's something that we have to ever worry about, and the little stuff too. But there's times where I have an extra $400 or $500. I'll bet it on boxing or UFC or wrestling or football stuff like that. But for the most part, I've kind of calmed down a little bit. There's times where I get like the car.
Yeah.
I had another car. Now
So you got rid of the red one?
Yeah, I had it for like 2 months.
You didn't like it?
No.
I mean, this is better, way better.
Yeah,
but
it had a lot of high miles on it. It
was really? It looks new.
It looked new. It was 2021, but it had like 200,000 miles on it.
What?
Yeah. So.
What? And that's the impulsive decision that he made. That I told him, don't do that. Don't do it.
But I mean, he got it for cheap. If he had 200, I would imagine.
But I just told him that was something that you that could have been avoided altogether. You did not need to get into that car, but he already had his mind made up.
You like the car?
I love the car. It was a good car. Just the motor started making noises and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. And it's because of the commute more than anything.
But you leased it instead. But you didn't buy it like you.
I bought it. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I financed it. But,
okay.
It's just the miles I was putting on it every day. I was putting like 80 to 90 miles on it a day.
Really?
Yeah, going to and from work, dropping her off at daycare, and like running around Raleigh if I needed to. So it was just. I started hearing the motor make noises, and I'm like, I don't like that. I'm not really a mechanically sound guy, so it's not like something breaks, I can fix it myself. I'm gonna have to pay out of pocket. So I kind of told her, like, I'm gonna look into getting another car, and I sold the truck, so I had some extra money.
Oh, I thought you were somewhere.
Nah, man, it's just sitting there. So
yeah,
it was like it's sitting there. I can make this much money off of it, or it just stays there. I'm paying insurance. I'm paying, the plates and stuff like that were coming up. I needed new tires, so it was more financial. That
burden,
I was gonna have to put into it. More money I was gonna have to put into it, or I just get money out of it, and it's out the way.
Damn.
So I got rid of it, put some of that money down on the new car, and got rid of the red car. And I told her on Tuesday, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get a car by the end of this week, and she's like, what? And then the next day,
and then I show up, and there's me crying the driveway. And then he's like, what do you think? I'm not gonna talk about it. You didn't consult anything with me when you made the decision.
He told you there's gonna be a new car by the end of the week.
That was the extent.
What else is he gonna say? So you should expect a new car by the end of the week. I don't know what else. What other conversation is? He was pretty clear. Not like I'm thinking about buying a car. He didn't say that. He said there's gonna be a new car at the end of the week. That's. So okay, so you cheating, and it don't matter whether the kids, like, for you the kids wouldn't be a kind of like a buffer for you to say, okay, let me try to resolve this.
Not for me. Just me as the person that I am.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would take all away my manhood, my pride, and that to me
Yeah.
is something that I
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm 99% of guys
Yeah.
that like but like the fight thing, you don't want it to, but you gotta like pause and think,
yeah.
because if it was just you two, okay. If it was just me and my wife, okay, but
Yeah.
you got a kid now, you have children now,
Yeah.
so I kind of feel anyway. Before I say how I feel, what about you? Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Same thing with cheating, or if he like put his hands on me, that would be like.
So cheating, you're gone. Once you're gone.
Cheating, yeah, gone. Because
The children. What about the children?
Even with the children, I would have to teach on and move on, and I would teach the girls also. There's some things that you choose to accept,
Hmm.
and then things you choose not to accept, and what is your self-respect, standard? That plays a big part into it also. I want somebody to stick around and then not feel worthy just because, of any other reason than what, they're holding their own self-respect. I want you to know that you're worthy of something. So I need to set an example too. Like, I'm not going to tolerate cheating. I'm not gonna, and if he was to put his hands on me, that'd be another no.
Yeah, I mean that goes without saying that he's physically hurting you, so that is kind of different.
So I think those would be two there's no going back from that at all.
Would you okay, in a scenario where okay that happened, you leave, like, so there's nothing, no, okay, so there's no what is it called? Okay, so yeah, you guys don't go to church, so I'm not even gonna bring that up.
Like counseling.
Yeah, I was gonna say counseling, but not therapy. Like, I mean, counsel. Like, if you guys went to church, I would say, okay, is there counsel? Like, would anything your pastor or minister or whoever that is would say to sway you? But since you guys don't go to church, I'm not gonna. So well, there's really nothing. Okay, so it's just is would it. What if, like, I'm gonna ask you the same thing I asked him. What if you knew you're opening yourself up for your kids' outside influences because the father is not in the home?
Well, I think that it wouldn't ever be. I would do my very best to always do my best at co-parenting if him and I didn't work out, regardless of what the reason was. Like, I don't want to stand in the way because I have 3 daughters in a world that's crazy. So I mean,
yeah, it is crazy. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, I'd be doing them a disservice, trying to withhold their dad from them, or I would never want to be a wedge in between their relationship. I wouldn't talk down on him. I wouldn't. It would have to be like.
Would you tell them what happened?
Yeah, I probably would.
It is right here. Okay. You probably would tell them what happened?
Yeah, I would tell them what happened. I would be honest with them because I don't want them to.
At this age?
Yeah.
I would too. Like I said, that's what I would let them know. Hey, this is what's going on.
Do you think they will understand? They're kids. I mean, I wouldn't imagine they would understand.
I don't think they'd understand, but I'd rather them know than for them to be wondering why I'm not coming home or why I'm not coming home, whatever, right? Because I would be for the house, obviously.
Or for them to think that they're the reason we broke up or anything. I want them to know.
Why would they think jump to that?
A lot of kids do. A lot of kids think, am I the reason why mom and dad broke up? That's very, very typical. So I wouldn't want our girls to ever think that they're the reason that mom and dad didn't work out, or I would want him to be able to own up to his actions, or for me to own up to my actions on it. And it is what it is. You made that decision, and now you didn't just hurt me or hurt yourself, like you hurt everybody, So it's just.
How much of it is? How can I put this? How much of you deciding, okay, this marriage is over? How much of that is ego, if you don't mind me asking?
For me, I think.
I mean, for a man, of course, it's ego. I was asking. Yeah. How much of that is
Like
ego?
from a woman's perspective, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I mean, I percentage. I would say maybe for at least for myself, it would be 25% ego. Like for me,
What is the rest?
I think the rest would be like just trying to keep together what I could. If I find it that it's not like salvageable, like our relationship or marriage is not salvageable,
Hmm.
I'm willing
No,
to
I mean for
compromise.
the cheating thing. Like, yeah, you said, like, okay, you decided, okay, he cheats, you want to divorce. How much of that is because he could cheat, but he could still be like it could be a mistake. I don't know,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I see
something
what
like
you're saying.
that, and you still say, okay, I want to leave, I want to divorce. I'm saying how much of that because it doesn't have anything to do with he doesn't love you anymore. It doesn't have anything to do with he's not, doing the things he's been doing previously, providing for you, showing you affection, being there for you emotionally, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It was a mistake. Maybe I don't know. He went to I don't know Vegas with the boys. Something happened. Got some drinks. Something happened. Okay, for you to actually say, okay, this is not salvageable.
Yeah.
How much of that is ego?
I'd say like 80% ego then. And then I think that the other 20% is
Hmm.
me not mentally ever being able to like I could say, yeah, I forgive you, but I would
You'll
have
never
an
forget.
internal I would have an internal war
Don't
with
think at some
myself.
point you would forget, like because time is undefeated. Like
Yeah.
with time, you don't think with time you would see past it.
I mean I guess you could, but I feel like that would be making myself unhappy for way too long
Yeah,
for a decision that I didn't make. That I don't know. I feel like that would be like really hard to live every day with him, for me to open up again with him emotionally,
yeah.
physically, or if he's on his phone, I'm like, who is that? Or who are you texting? Or who, I feel like that would, and then that would just decline a relationship even more. Like when you lose that trust, that is hard to come back from.
I agree with that. That's why I couldn't. Cheating would be it for me because I just can't.
I think it's kind of different from men. Like when it comes to sex with men and women, it's the way we see it is different from
Oh
the
yeah,
way
yeah, no
women would
doubt.
see it.
I agree with that
But yeah,
100%. But
yeah. I mean, for I'm gonna it's ego because me imagining that happening is just I can't even imagine that. Like for a man, I don't even. Yeah, but but I would try to pause to think, what am I? Because what am I? What will be the aftermath of what I'm about to do? That is what I'm
Yeah.
asking. Because I would try to ask me because it's not just about me anymore. When I got into the marriage, when I had children, it's not about me anymore. That's the one thing that I've understood about life, my life being changed, after I got married and had children and had a kid is okay, this is not about me anymore.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be about me. It's not my story anymore. I'm not I could be the author, but I'm not writing about me. It's not about me. So every decision I make would either have a positive or a negative. How much of a negative am I about to do with the decision I'm about to make right now?
Yeah.
Is what I mean. I would be pissed. I would be angry. I would be smashing walls. Yeah, these walls are smashable. Yeah, I would be smashing walls. But after I'm cooled down, I will be thinking the decision because every fiber of my being will be screaming, "Get the hell out of this!"
Yeah.
What would be the aftermath of that? That would be my question. That would be the question that I think I would have to because I wouldn't know because I can tell the future, but I think most people gamble on when they say they are leaving. Okay, you're leaving, but you can't tell you don't know what the aftermath is gonna be for that with your children, the kind of trauma they're gonna be, not having or seeing daddy on weekends and mommy trying to run this house by herself, have to work and at the same time, the affection is gonna because you're gonna take something is gonna give.
Yeah.
Something is gonna give. So how much of that is and if it's within my control to say, okay, let me stay at least until they're out of the house. Or let me see if there's any way this could be salvaged. Or like because I hear people say that's it. That's it. That's it. You know, regardless whether it's cheating, addiction, gambling, whatever it is, like they say, because from my perspective is I don't know if you get okay. You guys say you didn't have a church wedding, but you did do vows, right?
Yeah.
In your vows, what did it say?
Shit, I don't remember.
I mean, you guys said in sickness and in health,
Yeah.
till death
We
do us
were.
part. You know that you're gonna be there for better for worse.
Yes.
That has to mean something, though. It doesn't. Those vows isn't for the good times.
Yeah.
No, I get you.
No.
And like you were saying, like the everyday. So I couldn't be in the house with her.
Yeah.
I don't want to wash dishes while she's cooking. I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's what we do now, and I don't
Yeah.
want to be like. I don't want to walk into the house and be like, "Hey, what's up?" Like I can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the part of me that like
I understand.
you know that
Yeah.
I couldn't lay in the bed with her.
Yeah.
Like where am I gonna sleep at in the room with Adi next door?
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
That's why I say it is like see it's like I gotta go. But it's I know it's gonna hurt the girls. I know it's gonna but if it's me or if it's her, whoever it is, I think that that's supposed to be something you should think about before you do what you're about to do.
Yes.
Mm.
And if it is alcohol involved, then you know, maybe you're not clear minded. But that's
What if that was the case?
I mean, shit, you fucked up.
Okay.
You have to own it now. I'm big on hey man, and I would tell them like even if like she said if it was cheating or hitting her, right? If I hit her, I would tell the girls this is why we're separated because
Yeah.
I fucked up.
Yeah.
I hit your mom.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason was, it doesn't make it right or wrong. But I did it.
Mm.
And now, because I'm really big into telling them, you can do whatever you want to do. Just know the consequences, you have to pay for them. You have to suffer them. Whether it's, you know, you get grounded or when you get older, you go to jail.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you want, you can do what the fuck you want to do. That's the greatest thing about America. You can walk up and down whatever street you want to, say whatever you want to say, wear what you want to wear, love who you want to love, right? But when shit goes down, you got to be ready to own it.
Ooh, I don't know about the last one you said. Love whoever you want to love.
Well, you can. Unfortunately, you can.
I mean, not for my kids.
Well, yeah.
Not for my
So
kids.
we have some gay and lesbian people in our family, so they see it firsthand.
Yeah, you told me your I think
My
your sister. Yeah.
her sister, and her brother. So it's like firsthand. Their uncles and their aunts deal with it. So we don't want to like shy.
You close with them? Your sister?
My sister, and then I talk to her sister here and there. Me and her brother, we don't really talk. So
You talk to your sister?
yeah, every day, every other day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
She's like it's not like she's bi, like she's full on
yeah, she's full on
lesbian.
Yeah, lesbian, and she's got a short haircut like me. She's like the
Like a
butch
stud,
one.
butch, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, so that's talk to her on a regular basis though, but they know that, and they ask her sometimes, "Are you a boy or a girl?" Because she has a short haircut. But they're still curious about that shit. So I just bring it in there, right? It's part of the conversation. You can do whatever you want to do, right? In America, just whenever you get involved with the law, I can't do nothing for you. I can take you out, but you're gonna have to go back and deal with the consequences later on, anyways. So I would tell them I fucked up. I did this, I did that, and now this is part of.
But I don't think they have to know. At least at this age, I don't think they would have to know. Like they don't. Yes, mommy and daddy are going through something. I mean, you don't. I don't. Me personally, I wouldn't think that. At least at that age, they would even comprehend what I'm saying.
I think our two older ones would, but
Yeah,
maybe
they
not
will.
our 4-year-old, but
The
our
4-year-old won't know nothing,
no,
but
8.
I don't want them to be guessing. I don't want them to.
No. Like tell them enough to make them not guess. Okay, mommy and daddy are having issues.
Mhm.
There's a problem. Daddy can't stay in the house. Something like that.
Yeah.
But not like okay. Like I don't think that they will. If you tell them exactly what happened, that they could comprehend. Or they could
They
because
might
they
make it
could
work,
see you
yeah.
some way, or they
Yeah.
could see like okay, you hurt mommy, and now the relationship like you've maybe scarred the relationship you have with
Yeah.
them. Like it's all is it necessary? I don't-
Maybe not.
Maybe maybe just giving them something watered down, like a
Yeah, a word
that
out,
they could
yeah.
deal it down, and then as they get older, then they can ask
Ask questions. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That makes sense to do. I don't know. That'd be hard and something that we'd have to come into agreement about. Like, how
Yeah.
are we going to explain this to them? Like,
The
something like that.
so
Mhm.
Okay, so for Mike, which I 100% agree, and most guys would feel the same way. Like there are very, very little guys that would say differently. I mean, and me, even though I might more than likely go the route that you, but I have to think about stuff. I have to think
Yeah.
of. I mean, it's not just about me. I have children. You have children. I have a kid. I have, but you have children. So it's not like one person. Or, you have like three kids,
Hmm.
and I have a kid, and I'm thinking because I will always think what I'm about to do, is it because this is something that I want to do? Is my ego going to ruin my child?
Yeah.
It's because of I can't look at this woman anymore, can't come home and see her and imagine what she did. Is that going to ruin my kid?
Mhm.
And nobody wants to raise a child that ends up being messed in the head for some kind of reason.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, and right now I know exactly, okay, this is what we're gonna, this is how we're gonna raise the kids, this is how we're gonna do things. And am I putting all that stuff in jeopardy because I can handle a particular situation, or I'm trying to get my ego get the better of me? That's the question I'll be asking myself.
Yeah.
And in marriage, when you take those vows, when most people do take those vows, I'm thinking it has to mean something.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, of course.
So where is the line? So the line for most people would be physical abuse, which is very understandable. I mean, it's even in the Bible. You can't be doing all that stuff. You can't be putting your hands on your wife. You can't be cheating and all that stuff. But where does that come in? Is my question. Where does those vows, for better for worse, in sickness and in health, to if he got sick, God forbid, but let's say he got, like, I don't know, some kind of, I don't even know what disease you could get. You could, like he got sick that he becomes a vegetable.
Mhm.
You leave it,
No, I wouldn't leave.
I wouldn't leave her either. Not in that part, no.
the vegetable.
No, not at all. I'm staying with her throughout it all. Just, I think the cheating is betrayal. Like, that's me. I can't get over it. Like, I have no tolerance for that. Whatever. Like, those vows went out the window.
That's, I mean, yeah, sure, but
You just betrayed me. You disrespected me. You disrespected our kids.
but there's other things that you could, like when you spend all your money in the bank account. That is also, and you didn't tell her. It's also betrayal.
Yes.
No doubt.
But she ain't gonna leave for that.
Yeah.
So betrayal, like, so you're saying betrayal has limits, like has a
I think there's
range,
levels to it.
levels to it.
Yeah. 'Cause to me, it's just the physical intimacy. For, like we said earlier, right? Men and women, sexual things are different.
Yeah,
We just want to do what we want to do. And
Yeah.
move on. We don't
Yeah.
care. We don't love. I feel like women fall in love.
yeah. That's why I say I
Like,
completely understand where
Yeah.
you're going
so
from.
if she was to cheat on me, that's
Yeah.
she trusted him.
Yeah.
She liked him. She like
Yeah, exactly.
her up, something.
Exactly.
Right.
That is a whole process.
I'm not saying anyone was right or wrong.
Yeah.
Or less or worse than the other, but
I
that's how
mean, if I went to Vegas with the guys, had a bunch of drinks, and then I woke up, I didn't even remember what happened last night. I mean, that is different from someone texting, meeting up, doing all this, and then I mean that is different. So the way all this stuff happened between men and women is kind of different.
It is different.
Yeah.
It is different. But yeah, I mean, going back to the original question, like if she's sick, I would never even think twice about that's my wife. It's nothing, that we could have predicted that she's sick now. So I'm gonna stick with her until she gets better, or until she goes. But that's not something I'm dicking on. Hell no, I'm staying right there.
So other than the cheating part, nothing else.
Now, for me, I think that's it. I think everything else can be overcome by conversations and level-headed thinking.
Yeah.
I just don't have a level head for that. Like, that's not nobody's gonna sit down and tell me, hey man, maybe this is why you did something wrong. Like, nah, man. No, I didn't.
What if you did? What if you
Well, I know
neglected her?
because it wouldn't have gone there if I didn't, right? But
Yeah.
they're not gonna make me understand that it's my fault.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, you can't see it as your fault, yeah, because she did it.
because
Yeah.
I think, like I said, they women are so much more like affectionate with a relationship, whether it's just like a work husband or a friend, a male friend.
Ooh,
Right?
that work husband stuff.
Yeah,
The first time I heard, I'm like,
happens.
what the hell does
It
that even
happens,
mean?
right?
And
It's
what?
like
Yeah,
it's a whole
yeah,
thing.
I know.
And
It's
then cheating or going on a date. I went to dinner with this guy. Like, what the fuck?
what would you consider cheating though, other than the sexual stuff?
Um, I think any type of like conversation that
If
has,
she,
yeah, like texting, talking on the phone, then it's more like of like how are you doing type shit. Not like a work guy is like, hey man, did you get these reports done? Or thank you for doing
what if
your homework.
she has male friends?
I have no problem with that.
Okay,
She had male friends before we got together, even when we were dating in the beginning, and I was cool with them. They were cool with me.
what happened to them?
I asked her, like,
Well, they're still in Texas. I
Oh,
we
okay.
moved
Oh,
to
okay. They're still in
another
Texas.
area.
Okay.
friends, like social media friends and stuff. Like, one of them, he's a really good friend of hers that he's still my friend on social media. And that's something in the beginning we just were like straight up with, like, hey, did y'all do anything? I'm like, no, okay, cool. I'm not gonna dig any more than that. Like, if you're telling me that's it, then that's it.
What if she said yes, one of them?
I'd be like, so, like, why are y'all still friends? Like, are you still messing with them? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
yeah.
Like,
So you would be comfortable with her be like still talking to anybody, even though if she never even dated them, like it was just a thing that they had.
no, I would not be comfortable with that. I'd be like, you gotta stop kind of being his friend like that. Like, he
Okay.
can come around, but I don't need you and him being like, hey, we
Yeah.
can go bowling together. We can go to the movies together. Like, they ain't be none of that.
I don't think I would even
Yeah.
tolerate that
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, I don't come over. What do you mean come over? Come over where?
Yeah.
Come over where?
Yeah. But no, I mean, we've all had our past, right?
Yeah.
For us, each other, stuff like that. So then I would just gonna be like, well, just what is it? What was it? And
Yeah.
it needs to stop now.
Yeah.
We just can't be together type stuff. But I think she was chased by a lot of guys, but she just didn't get into a lot of guys. So that's something that I heard from the beginning. They're like, everybody's trying, but nobody can get to her. And they were kind of shocked that it was moving so fast with us.
When because I don't believe that any guy would want to date, like any guy would be friends with a chick. I don't believe that guys, you can't be friends with it, like unless you're interested in her.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
yeah, I can be like, I kind of find it all like girls that say, "Oh, I have male friends, but they're not interested." Of course, they are. Why aren't they friends with the big ass woman, right? With the 300 pound. No, they're not. They're friends with you. They're friends with the pretty girls. Yeah, because they want something. So it's crazy when women say, "Oh, I have male friends, but we don't have anything." No, you don't have. They do. They have ulterior motive. They're waiting on your ass.
So what was it? I guess from your standpoint, being the attractive girl
Yeah.
that everybody male friends.
I mean,
You do know that none of them were your friends, like actual friends.
I
They
think that they were. I mean,
I think-
maybe
I
it
think
got
Phil-
friend
I
zoned.
think Phil was.
friend zone. You friend zoned all of them.
Well, yeah, like I mean,
Then
that's
they're not
nice.
your friend. Then if he already told you that he likes you and he said no, I just want us to be friends. Then he.
Well, they never like straight out said that they liked me. I think it's because I never showed like any interest at all in them. That they never pursued anything. So I can genuinely say like we were just friends because
No, they were playing the long game.
well,
Guys, we would wait. We would wait on you for
I think there was a
years.
couple of them because there was a couple that disappeared. But like I said,
Yeah.
that my friend, he's cool. Like he's cool. He's never been in any kind of way disrespectful, like in that standpoint. So that's what I'm saying. I think Philip was one of them. Rudy was another one. Those are still two really good guy friends that she had. There was another couple of dudes that were friends when I got there, and then they just kind of like didn't come around no more. But I think those two guys, I can say they legitimately were, because she went to a Christian school where there was like 16 people.
It was like
I think,
10. Wait, I was the second
Wait, a
graduating
school that
class.
had 16 people?
in her graduating
In my
class.
graduating
Okay.
class. That was the second graduating class. It was a very tiny,
Okay.
up and coming.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So it's not like you have like these friends and those friends and those friends. It was just that's all they had.
Yeah.
Was those friends. So like I said, those guys are from that school with her, and like, to this day they're my friend, and we've talked about relationship advice from theirs and our standpoint, and we still keep really close on social media at least. But like I said, those two guys, I'll bet whatever I have that they never like really try to do anything with her. The other ones, like I said, I wouldn't, because where the fuck they at now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Yeah, I get what you're saying. I can't believe that a man and women can be actual friends.
Yeah, I think
Because
if you've had I guess like a relationship with them before, I don't think that translates very well into being just friends after.
but even still, like some guys, like it's all about our approach. Some guys they will play the long game. They will come in at okay, let me be your friend first, and then as the years go by, you get to know the real me. And then you see that I'm not a threat, and then maybe you could give me a chance. Some guys they play that game.
I can definitely see
Yeah,
that.
but for a guy to be, and then some guys would be like, okay, I like you, but you tell them I don't like you. I want us to be friends, and then they still be. Those guys are weird as hell, but being friend zone like that is one of the weirdest.
Yeah.
That is one of the strangest thing I've ever seen. But guys, we have our strategies. We have our strategies to try to get women. But I never believed that. Anyway, but back to the conflict thing. So okay, so for you, it's gonna be physical abuse and cheating. For you, just cheating, nothing else.
Yes, to me, that's it. Everything else. Like I said, I think there's a way over everything else.
Yeah, but I think like way before it even gets to cheating, I think that there's a bunch of other like conflicts you have leading up to it. I think that maybe cheating may be like the breaking point, where to the point where you're like, I don't give a damn anymore. Like, what happens with our marriage? I think there's a lot of stuff leading up to it before it gets to the cheating part, like
Yeah, of course.
conflicts that were not resolved.
What if he told you? Maybe he didn't catch like he told you. He came and said, "Baby, blase, blase. This happened, and that happened."
Mm-hmm.
Will you still react the same way?
If he was explaining to me about the cheating,
Yeah, he told you that. Yeah, this is what he cheated.
it would still be a no for me. Like I could not get past
Yeah,
that.
it's a no for me.
But I think that there's a lot of other windows of opportunity to correct your wrongs and to minimize that conflict or to come to a mutual agreement. Okay, what is it that you're needing from me that I'm not giving to you?
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
What if he came in the first time and told you, but you weren't reciprocal to what he was saying? Okay, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that, I'm not getting that. And you kept doing the same thing you were doing. You weren't like you didn't receive what he was saying. And then that happened.
Then I would definitely, I mean, I still wouldn't be with him, but I would definitely take on some of that responsibility. I wouldn't just.
How would you take on the responsibility when you've left him? You mean like accountability?
Just take accountability, yeah. Taking accountability of like, you know what, you were explaining this to me and you acted upon not being heard from me or not acknowledging the way you were feeling. So you went and made your decision. Doesn't make it right, and it's not going to change the fact that I still don't want to be with you because you went and laid with somebody else. But I also know, like, this is not just your fault. This is not just your decision, or this is not just your wrongdoing. Like, I played a part in that too. But I'm still not going to stand for cheating or being cheated on.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think that there's stuff building up behind it. Like, people don't just fall out just to fall out, or there's. You said sometime. Oh, thanks. You said sometime. Mike, you were saying that sometimes you thought about leaving. What got you there?
Financial, I guess, stress.
So it wasn't anything to do with any conflict. It was just the pressure.
Yeah, pressure of finances. Just like us arguing like all the time about certain things. I can't remember right now off the top of my head what like one of the reasons was.
So you guys have never had any financial since you said financial was one of the reasons. You guys have never had any financial like dispute over things?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
When I was the only one working, like it was tough. Especially like with inflation and all this other shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, the last couple of years he's been the hardest. Now she has a job, which helps a lot. Takes a lot of the weight off my back. But that's what it stemmed from. Was like I feel like I'm doing all this shit, and like you're not helping me do X, Y, and Z. Like I wanted her to go to school and finish her degree. I wanted her to do like start up an idea of a small business or something that we could do. I'm getting out of the army in 4 years, so I'm like, we got time now to like plan this stuff. Um, so when I get out, like, it's rolling. We're not
Yeah.
just starting.
Yeah.
Because we live a life where financially I can take care of us right now, but I'm not gonna get all that money when I get out. Like, I'm gonna get a percentage, and then that's it. Like, what are you gonna contribute? Like to our family, our daughters, me, you. Like, what are you putting in? And that was one of the hardest, I think, things for me to get over. Was just like she didn't want to finish school. She didn't want to give me an idea for a business, and I'm like I just go by myself. Like I just take care of myself and the girls financially, but I don't need to be with somebody who's not going to be like hungry, like trying to find something to to own and be like giving into our marriage.
But if like you have 3 kids,
Mhm.
that should be taking most of the time, most of her time, though. Wouldn't you like? Didn't you? Isn't that the case?
Yeah, of course, but I mean, the girls go to school.
Okay.
The girls go to school. The
Yeah.
little one stays at home.
Mm.
But I mean, to me at least, I mean that's kind of like we're on the same page. I come home and be a dad right after work too, right? And I get home as soon as I can and try to take off some of the weight of being a stay-at-home wife to you. But I needed more. I wanted more. I wanted not necessarily for. I wanted my daughters to look up to somebody. I want them to say, "My mom does this," or "My mom has this job," or "My mom bought me this." Like, I wanted to always be my dad, my dad, my dad, my dad, my dad.
Yeah, yeah,
If I had boys, then maybe I think a little differently. Like I'm showing them the way, right? Like this is how you take care of a family. This is how you do this. But I've always wanted them, and even me, to be able to brag about somebody. When I first met Lisa, she was very like hard charger, right? Self starter. She handled her own business, like she said earlier. We went 50-50 on all the bills. She had no issue with that. I get it. I'm a provider and a husband now.
Yeah.
But like now, the times are getting a little tough. I need a little bit of help, and I'm trying to figure out how are you going to play. What part are you playing in that? Are you getting your education so that you have that to back you up? Are you coming up with a plan to set us up for business in the future? We have money from selling houses and stuff. Like we have it there. Let's put it into something. But I never really got like either one of them. So I was kind of like, man, you're just like stagnant. You're stuck, and that's not who I want to be with. That's not who I want my daughters to look up to, I guess. So that was one of the reasons why I was ready to just like.
Is that okay? Question: Is that what you thought, or was that actually what was happening?
Do you feel like that was what was happening, or was this what I thought?
No, I think it's what was happening. I think that but Mike is big on finances. I mean, of course, like finances are very, very important. But Mike looks like to always be proactive with finances. And I mean, it's a good trait. But he gets in his head like right away. And he's like, it needs to happen now. This needs to happen. This and that.
Yeah.
So me being more like reserved and like taking my time with the girls to like. I was not in any rush, to like, okay, yeah, let me go get a job. But I mean, the plan was when we did get here to North Carolina, like, our youngest would be old enough where she can go to daycare, like talk up if something's bothering her, and I'll get a job when we get to North Carolina. So I mean, that's what we ended up having to do. The cost of living, and then there's things that we wanted to do too, like. As a family, like bills are paid, but then it's like, okay, now what else? And I said, I work and I make sure everybody has everything that they need. He goes, and what about me? I'm working my ass off, and you and the girls just get to live like this cushion life. So
Did you have dream? Like, did you have things you wanted to do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Okay.
and more so before I became a mom, but then when I did become a mom, I'm like, I don't know. I lost a lot of that drive.
Being a mother would do like women. I've met lawyers, high-powered attorneys. They go they go hard. As soon as they get married, have children, they are quitting their job.
Mhm.
They are doing like they step way back.
Yeah.
So that happens with women a lot. Like, so that's why in when you were saying the things you were saying, I'm like, I was like, and it's not like you have one child or couple of
Yeah.
kids. You have three, and girls, yeah, you need a lot of time with them. With boys, you can let them, do their thing. They're boys. As soon as they start working, they're independent, more or less. But with girls, you gotta watch them, and you guys three of them.
Hmm.
So that would take that, like, so that's what I would imagine it would take more of it. So that's why maybe she was kind of like, okay, let me take my time with this
Yeah.
before. So that's why I asked, is this something that you were imagining was happening, or was it actually what was happening? Because you say it was a conflict.
Yeah.
So the conflict would be you're thinking this, but she's saying no, that wasn't what was happening. That's why I asked, was it
Yeah.
what you were imagining?
I mean, yeah,
So
like, I mean, she hits it right on the nail, the nail on the head when she says like, I want like
Yeah.
instant,
yeah,
like do it now, right? So I guess like the school, going back to school, like she was doing it for a little while, and then it got kind of like, well, it's getting. I don't want to stay up all night doing this and doing that. I'm like, well, you need to do something. Like this is gonna make you look better, and more competitive to companies when it comes time for you to get a job and stuff. And that just stopped. But I don't know, man. I guess I wanted something I wasn't getting, so I felt some kind of way because I always give when they want, and that was tough for me.
but it was you leaving was just in your head. It's not like
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
actually
no,
like
like
planning on.
I mean, I say it because I mean, I get emotional at the time, and I just get frustrated. But going back to like what we were talking about earlier, where you think about the girls and you think about their life and how they're going to be, I didn't want to do that to them over like financial stuff or money or whatever. And then we were actually going through on the side, not deep inside, but like with our friends, the divorce we were talking about earlier, we were seeing how it was affecting them and everything too. So like, I think about that in the back of my mind. I don't want to be like
Yeah.
the guy that I don't like because of what he did.
Yeah.
That was one of the times that I thought about like maybe this is not the person I need to be with because I had expectations of what I want her to be. But we've figured it out now. She has a job. She helps out.
Do you have anyone you talk to? Like I don't know.
So I've gone to counseling a couple times.
No, I don't mean like, I mean council is something official, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't mean something
Somebody to
official.
vent to, or
Yeah.
somebody to talk to.
Not really. I don't. I talk to my mom every now and then. But I don't like to give her all the details.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like someone that you've like so you're not close with your you don't have do you have in the military you say you have mentors, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I have a really good friend of mine that in um, Mike Stone. He's one
Yeah.
of the first sergeants I had as a station commander that played a heavy role in me kind of getting out of that mindset that I was just talking about. Um, but he's gone. He's in Alaska now, so we talk here and there. But he was a guy that I talked to a lot about stuff like what we're
Stuff.
talking about
Okay.
right now.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of
Because those things are good. Like I can't tell you how important those things are to have someone to, that could talk you out of things.
yeah,
Because as men, sometimes when our mind is made up with the way we say things, it could be it's good in business, but when it comes to relationship, it could be detrimental.
yeah, yeah,
So I can't speak enough about people having people in their corner that they could talk to.
yeah,
I don't mean therapy or anything, like official. You go to therapy. No, I'm talking about people that like know you personally, not
yeah.
like in a professional sense.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone you talk to?
No, I don't. I mean, I talked to one of my closest friend that went through the divorce, but
The same person?
yeah, well, yes. So she's the one that we spoke about. So I
Yeah.
do talk to her, but I mean, also at the same time, I don't give her as many details. Also, like I will let her know, like, yeah, I'm just kind of going through like a rough patch, and so she prays for us and stuff. But I don't want to give her too many details where I'm painting Mike out to be the bad person just because I'm upset in
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah.
And so there's times where she will tell me, like, let me just advise you guys just need to be patient, give each other grace, and he can say things that maybe us women we take more to heart, but he says it out of frustration, or. So there's a lot of times where she kind of guides me because Mike and I can both be like pretty like hot-headed when it comes to like when we think something is right, and so she just kind of reminds me like just you need to take a step back too, but I don't always give her so much of the detail just because I know that Mike and I, at the end of the day, we're going to work out our differences and resolve our conflict.
Mm.
So I don't want to paint a bad picture in her head of him just because of a temporary disagreement or my frustration towards him for that, that day or that moment.
Yeah. I know. I get that. It's a kind of it's kind of like a fine line.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I don't mean like I'm sure if Mike is talking to his mentor, he's not painting you in the bad. Like he's just telling you, okay, I'm about to do this, and this because of this,
Yeah.
and then more or less he's looking for a reason, someone to talk him out of it. That is mostly why you have someone to talk you out of things. Even though in a subconscious level, that's what you're doing, to have somebody to talk you out of things.
And it's important to when you
Yeah.
do confide in somebody, you
Mhm.
have like a mentor that they do know both you and
Yeah.
your spouse
Yeah.
because they know your dynamic, your relationship,
Mm.
and it's not like I'm venting to my single girlfriends. They're like, yeah, girl, like
Ooh, that is
you
dangerous.
shouldn't, yeah, fuck
Yeah.
that, or fucking don't, you're not. I want to deal and vent to somebody that I look up to or that.
You don't talk to your mom? You don't close?
Not with relationships. No, I
Oh,
do
okay.
not at all.
I thought she liked them.
She does now. She does now.
Oh.
The
You
beginning
said
part.
no. Mike is like that. Look. Wait, the first time she did. Why did she like you? What was going on?
She was moving kind of fast.
Yeah.
Maybe she was worried.
I mean, but that ain't got nothing to do with you. I mean, she should be talking. It's not like he hypnotized you or something. Like, but why didn't she like you? Like, because
I think so much of his ego and his attitude. He had such a. He's matured so much, but
Mhm.
when we first started dating, he was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care how you feel.
I always thought that I didn't want
Wait. You told her that?
No,
that's just my attitude. But
Okay.
there was times where I didn't care. Like, I didn't want people to like me. I didn't care. I didn't like if you don't like me, that's cool. But I don't give a fuck. Like that's how I used to be. Like if your mom doesn't like me, who gives a fuck? Do you like me? Yeah, okay, cool. And that's all that matters.
He never.
Like, that's how I
he never put forth an effort to like. He's not one not to like kiss somebody's ass or not to kiss my mom's ass or anything, but it was kind of like he never tried, he never cared, and then that reminded my mom a lot. I guess also like of my dad and my like.
Okay.
Like, oh
Okay.
God,
Gotcha. Yeah.
This is just like your dad, and y'all are moving along really fast. So this is not like you. Like what's going on? And then we came out that we were engaged, and she's like, "That's really soon." And then the week later, we were pregnant. She's like, "What?" So my mom was just like, "What is going on?" It just was happening too much for my mom. My mom didn't really get to know him very well. Like it just happened so fast. So my mom was not a big fan until she saw him become a dad, how he provided, and she's like, "Oh no, this changes like my perception of him."
But would you say you would have that same attitude if her dad was in the picture?
Probably not. I don't think that. I mean, I've had girlfriends with dads that I just.
Yeah, you still.
Yeah. So I mean, if they were cool, they were cool. But I
Yeah.
didn't, in that part of my life, I didn't need not say justification, but I didn't need like anybody to like make me to validate me.
Yeah.
I'm here with the girl, right? And
Yeah.
then whoever else is around, what's up, man? How you doing? If not, right, fuck you then. Let's go. Like that's how my mentality was back then. So I don't think I know our relationship would be a lot different. Don't get me wrong. If her dad was alive, but I'm sure I would talk to him more. I probably would have asked for her hand in marriage through him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would change the fact that if he didn't like me, I still was gonna like do whatever I wanted to do.
Really? Like when you know that Mike wasn't putting in effort to actually get to, I don't know, kind of like cozy up to your mom. Were you making him do like say, okay, you gotta, or were you didn't care?
No, I guess I felt like my mom just didn't really have much of a like he hadn't like done me wrong. So like I think that my mom did also give him a fair chance. So I'm like, man, they're both having I guess like a bad attitude about it, and it's
Yeah.
hard to play the middleman when he has his ego. My mom's stuck in her ways to get them to meet, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna.
Did you understand where your mom was coming from? Like, yeah.
I do understand, but at the same time, like, I mean, I feel like no matter what I did and what decisions I made with my mom was very traditional, very old school, and it was always like not maybe so much just for my own good, but like how is it going to make me look? Like it was more about her image and how is it going to make her look?
Yeah.
You better not come out pregnant. You better not do this. You better not because of how it's going to make her look. Not so much.
I mean, every especially and that comes with tradition as well. Every tradition, like you wouldn't want your daughter and one of your daughters getting, knocked up or something
Oh
like
yeah.
that, because part of it will be how it will make you look because you raised her. So how they will ask questions will be asked. How did you raise this girl? That girl, So that is completely understandable if she's coming from there. No, but you said that she saw Mike's character traits in your father so that's why I asked, did you understand where she was coming from? That she's okay, this is something I saw with your dad and flags are going off, like red flags are going off.
I could understand.
Yeah.
I could understand.
Did you do anything to kind of calm her down like with that? Like,
I tried talking to her quite a few times, like, Mom, he's good. He's a good person.
yeah.
His attitude, yes, he's very like I would not machismo because he didn't have it like I think of I don't know that's a lot more like negativity, but I don't know. He just was kind of like I don't really care if you like me. You like me. If you don't, you don't.
I just move how I wanna
People. He didn't.
Like,
So if her mom was like, okay, I'm not coming to your wedding.
that's your fault.
Come on, man.
Because look at it like this. Like I'm not. Again, I go back to like I said earlier. I'm not with the mom or the dad or anybody else.
Yeah.
I'm not mistreating her. I'm not doing nothing wrong to her.
Yeah,
And
but
I feel like I never got a fair chance. Like a lot of her family was like in the beginning. Like our first interaction with her uncle and her aunt. Like the uncle's a retired cop, right?
yeah.
And I have tattoos, so he starts grabbing.
Oh,
my
he
arm,
saw.
twisting my arm like this. And he's like, I like art. I want to see your artwork. And I'm like, okay, bro. He has me like this. Right? And I'm like, cool. This is the first time I meet these people, and I'm getting my arm twisted. After that, her cousin, we go outside to have a pool. Her cousin picks me up and pretends he's gonna throw me in the pool. And I'm like, bro, like y'all can't do that to me because I'm not.
Why were they acting weird?
I have no idea, and even to this day, I mean, I still don't even have any explanation for.
That is really. I mean, yeah, I understand the tattoos, and him being a cop, what he's seen. But him first of all twisted.
But now to this day, it's like, oh, I just wanted to see your tattoos.
Yeah.
I don't talk to the cousins. They've talked to her here and there, but everybody's like, you're supposed to like let it go. Like, no, bro, I didn't do nothing wrong to nobody. I just walked into this.
Did they know you prior?
No,
Like,
nobody. You didn't know nothing about each
No,
other.
they didn't know him.
But just like I said, like so it was more than just the mom. Like everybody kind of had this idea, and it was a lot of it was the beginning of a relationship.
Yeah.
We're off and on, and she was probably saying stuff to them, and they were probably like, "Well, he's a bad guy." But once I got my shit together, got my head straight, like I've never felt like I'm a bad person. My mom raised me well. I'll give you the shirt off my back, right? But at the same time, I'll rip your throat out if you're my enemy. And that's just how I am. I'm very unforgiving, aggressive, but when I love hard, right? So that's why when you ask the question if your mom was gonna come to the wedding, I'm like, that's your fault, not mine. Like I have no reason to like beg you to come, plead you to come, because that tells me that you're gonna be there unwillingly anyway.
Yeah.
And it's not true and like legitimately like I'm here to be celebrating y'all's marriage. You're here because I'm the mom and I have to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't care if nobody comes. Then we had 79 instead of 80. You know what I'm saying? It's cool with me.
Man, Mike, man, come on, you gotta be. Oh my God, you gotta.
No,
It's family, man. It's family.
no,
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 we're
yeah.
good now. We're good now.
No, no, no. I know, but even
But
at that beginning stage, because let's say, okay, if I can't even imagine, like, if my wife, her mom, if my mother-in-law was like, I don't know about this dude, I don't like this dude, blah blah blah, I think I would try, because it's part of it. Like, because I'm trying to get in, like, even though she's coming into my family, I would try to smoothen things out. Like, okay, why don't you like let's talk it out. You know what I'm saying? If her father was like my because her father is late, but let's say her father when he was still alive was like, okay, I don't like him for whatever reason. I would try man to man to actually try to sort that situation out. Okay, why don't, because I don't think I'll be comfortable. Maybe it's just I don't know, maybe it's just how I was raised, but I don't think I'll be comfortable trying to take a daughter from a man's, like, because your daughter, I mean, you have daughters, so you're gonna go through this. Let's
yeah.
say you don't like one of them guys they bring home.
Mhm.
What happens then? And she's saying, I don't care.
Well, we'd have to figure it out, me and him. Like you said, if the dad was
Exactly what I'm
here,
saying.
yeah, I would talk to the dad more.
Yeah,
And I don't want to be like sexist or anything, but like, I didn't feel like I
yeah.
needed to talk to
Talk
her
to,
mom
yeah,
about wanting to marry her or why don't you like me? Because I didn't do anything to anybody besides like it was me and her. So I don't know
so
why
you
I
didn't
really.
feel any, I wouldn't say obligation, any, what's the word I'm using, is there any other words for obligation,
Obligation would be a good one. I mean,
to
you can
actually
call
come and,
Well,
because
yeah,
it's your
I would try to be
mother-in-law.
nicer, and I would try to like
Like,
be good.
did you try to extend any kind of olive branch to,
Yeah,
we
like,
would invite her over, and my brother and sister would come cook. We cook dinner for them and stuff. My brother and sister were really cool with Mike. Like, definitely in the beginning.
oh, okay, so it was your
I mean,
cousins. Why were they being weird then?
no,
Have they
just
met him
my one.
before?
No,
yeah,
just my one.
Okay,
I don't know. He's just a big overgrown child. Like that's
okay,
essentially what it boiled down to. And he was trying to be funny, and Mike doesn't joke that way. Like, I mean, most grown ass men wouldn't.
yeah,
So I think that he took it upon himself to be like, this is a joke. And the only one that thought it was funny was probably him and my uncle. Like, that was
yeah,
probably, it was stupid. It didn't go over well, of course, at all. I don't think any
yeah,
grown man would feel comfortable or be okay with somebody else trying to pick him up, throw him in the pool. So
yeah.
that caused like some friction there. But I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just.
Did you try to knock him out or something?
no, I needed to leave because I didn't. Again, it's the first time I'm meeting these people,
Okay,
and I was still very uh, immature, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
hot headed, dealing with a lot of. I just got back from Iraq and like kind of. I was ready. I carried a gun everywhere with me. Not saying I was going to shoot anybody, but I probably would have made some bad decisions if I
yeah,
would have acted the way I wanted to.
mm,
But I mean, I was kind of like, I told her, I was like, what the fuck's this about? And she's like, I don't know. And I didn't know if it was like a regular thing that happens at their house or something or what. But I was just like, I don't need to talk to them people no more. I don't want to go to that house no more
yeah,
because the as a man,
yeah,
right? When you invite me to your house, if you treat me this way, then that just tells me everything you are as a man. So it took a long time for me to get over it. Me and her uncle, we talked. Things are still kind of like whatever, I guess. He's a lot older, so
but you and her mom, you guys are cool.
yeah, we're good now. We're good
Okay,
now. It's come a long way, but
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I just didn't. I didn't. I felt like as long as I treat her right and do right by her, if whoever else doesn't like it or doesn't agree with it, then that's their fault, not mine. I'm not doing her wrong. I'm not beating her down. I'm not like keeping her away from her family.
mm,
I'm not mistreating her,
yeah.
but I don't think that in the beginning I did anything to justify the way I was treated.
Mhm.
How would you have felt if your mom didn't come to your wedding?
Be heartbroken, but I mean, then that would have just
Would you still have gone through with the wedding if you know she wasn't gonna come?
Yes, probably, because I feel that she could have put her differences aside for me. Ultimately, I mean, because I was already 21. I was already moved out. I was paying my own bills. It's not that I just wanted her to be able to like respect my decisions and understand that I'm making a decision also for myself, just the way that she did when she was younger. I did right by her growing up, even throughout high school. My dad passed when I was young. I never wanted to make my mom look bad, so I always did the things that I was just supposed to do and then beyond. And so like, can you just give me that mutual like respect now that I am grown up and just trust that I'm making the right decision for myself and for my future, and respect me, respect my choices, the man that I want to marry. And if you're gonna make it about yourself and then not come, then that's just kind of where it lies. I mean, it would be heartbreaking. I would try and talk to her, beforehand if I knew that was gonna be something that she was like thinking about or considering. But ultimately, when the wedding day came, I mean, I would not have held up my wedding.
Did she point blank tell you not to date him? Like when
No.
he? Okay.
No, she told me to slow down. Keep slowing down. Slow
Okay.
down. She never
Okay.
told me not to date him, but she was like, slow down. Things are going too fast. Which they were. But
I mean, he's in the military, so he's gonna have to,
and then when
because
we got engaged, and then like a month and a half later, then he got military orders to South Korea. So that just shows just how fast things really do change. The drop of a hat. So yeah. I mean, it's crazy. My mom, she's very like she tries to be very like cautious. Or she worries a lot and she's an overthinker. But it's just. I mean, I understand now that I'm a mom of girls, but also I trust that I would raise my kids to make good decisions.
But yeah, I mean, they're your kids. You trust that they will make good decisions. But when you see something that you be like, okay, this is like.
Yeah.
So you telling me that you can't tell them that, or Mike, you can tell your daughter, okay, this dude is red flag. I don't want him. No, stop dating.
No, yeah, I would. I mean, and I would hope that they would respect that. If not, like I said earlier, they can make the decision they want to make, but they have to lay in that bed. So if I told you that he doesn't look like a good guy, then you marry him and you move out, and then he starts treating you wrong, abusing you, whatever, then I'm gonna go take care of it. Bring you back, we're gonna take care of you, but I'm gonna also remind you.
I told you so.
I told you.
Yeah.
And that's yeah.
Maybe because I was like, oh, her mom, if she doesn't, I mean, I pray that doesn't happen. I always pray that doesn't. Even when I'm like, the first time I went to, because she invited me to her place, I went to see everybody. I was praying, oh God, let this not go sideways. Like, I just don't want to.
Yeah, you want
Yeah.
to go smoothly, make a good
Yeah.
impression.
Yeah.
That weirdness going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens. Yeah. And you have to deal with it, move on. Like I said, I was in it for her, not for nobody else. I know a lot of people want to make like a good impression and stuff like that, but I've never been one to. I don't care what people think or say. Like
I mean, you should care a little bit, like the people close to you. Besides, like you should. I would think you should think about what your mother-in-law would say, or your maybe if her dad was still alive, your father-in-law.
Yeah, I would want to make a good impression.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but
Did you think the first time you saw her, did you think you made a good impression? Because how did she get all that stuff?
Her mom?
Yeah, her mom.
I mean, when was the first time I can't remember.
Was it there at my aunt's house?
I don't know.
I think it was.
Because she wouldn't have come up with all that stuff by just by
that's
seeing
what I'm saying.
you.
Like in the beginning, we broke up and got back together. Broke up, got back together. Broke up, got back together. So I don't know if they knew that was going on.
Oh, so you didn't see her for a while when you guys started dating. You didn't see her for a while.
No, I don't think so. I can't remember.
No, so we were talking and everything was going good. We're still like we weren't like official, but we were like still in the talking phase. And so then I brought him over to meet my family, and then I mean, it went the way it did that night, even with my, my cousin acting the way he did. But
Oh, was it in the pool party then?
no, it wasn't even a pool party. It was in the evening that he came over for dinner. Like, we were all dressed up, and
Okay.
he wanted to act like that. So, but but after that, then it was just kind of like off again and on again, and so then from there, I mean, he had already met my mom from there, but
So, but that dinner, that's when the first time he met your
I
mom.
think so.
I can't remember.
I think
That's what it was, but I know I came spending at your house that one time.
Yeah, that was another time. Yeah.
That was some different another time, but yeah, I think that might have been the first time I met all her family. Well, not all, but her uncle, her aunt,
Yeah.
brother, sister, the cousin was there. So
Yeah.
And did you remember that night?
yeah, a little bit.
You think you made a good impression?
I don't know if me just walking in, they already started judging me.
Yeah.
Because of the tattoos and stuff. That's kind of where.
Were you wearing like a t-shirt? Okay.
Short sleeve shirt, but that's kind of where it went right away.
I had already warned them though that he had a bunch of tattoos. Like, he's in the military. That's just like
Yeah, but if you're in the military, I mean, it comes with like most
Yeah.
people. Yeah, most guys
It
in
was
the
pretty quick
yeah.
that it went from hey, how y'all doing to.
See, my mom's very old school. Like, I mean, my grandparents didn't have tattoos. She didn't have tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if anybody had tattoos, you better cover it up before you go into their house.
Yeah.
So they were very old school. So I warned my mom, like, Mom, he's really good. He has his shit together. He is a go-getter. I said, but he has a lot of tattoos, but I mean, my dad had tattoos, and he was,
Yeah.
the bad guy, like the. 'Cause my
Your dad had tattoos, but she married him. Like
That's what I'm saying.
it wouldn't have been the problem.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then she's like, he reminds me a lot of your dad. So I don't know if my mom's getting like,
Yeah.
I don't know, flashbacks.
But I mean, but yeah, she's talking about. But like, is there and maybe that there's got to be something else that happened other than the tattoos because your mom saw your dad with the tattoos and still married him. So there's got to be something more to it than just the tattoos.
I like it because his attitude, like his like.
That was cool.
I mean, that's why I asked. Did you make a good impression? Because
I mean, maybe my attitude changed when they started twisting my arm. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna say that it was me. I didn't walk in there like, "What's up? The fuck y'all looking at?" It was like, what's this? What's that? And then I'm okay. Now that I'm defensive, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But you can twist my arm, and it's supposed to be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that isn't how I fucking play. So I don't know if that's what it was or whatever, but it started off rocky. We're all good now.
Mm-hmm.
We've been together coming up on 12 years.
Yeah, that's a
years
long
It's been
time.
a long time. Highs and lows, but no, we're good now.
Not a lot of growing.
And and the thing, you guys married young, so you kind of grew up together. Yeah.
Like I said earlier, Mike Stone, he helped me get over a lot of my thought process. Because even in 2020, when I met him, I still had like a lot of very like it's my way. Nobody else can change that. When it came to work, when it came to being a leader, stuff like that, and he's the one that kind of got me to start thinking like other ways besides that. Like you can't just walk in here and be like, "Hey, y'all gonna fucking listen to me because I'm in charge." And da da da. So I think that part of my life is where a lot of my thought process, mentality changed in a positive way for everybody else. Because before that, I was kind of very
hard charging.
Me. The way I say is what's going to get done. This is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to be. We figure it out. I don't know if you know how to do this or not, but you have to figure it out because that's what I told you to do, and that's how the army works. And let's go. And I had to change all that. And he definitely came in at the right time. I think when I became a station commander to help me get out of that mindset.
Yeah. But you say you still talk to him every now and then.
I just talked to him about 2 days. I think Friday night we talked. He did a polar plunge in Alaska. He jumped into, they cut a circle.
Yeah, the thing.
He jumped into that because
was that like a dare or something?
Well, his company, he's the first sergeant, so he's in charge of the whole company.
Oh.
I guess he made some type of, if y'all make this many contracts, I'll do that.
Oh,
And
okay.
they hit
Yeah.
they hit the goal, so he had to do it. And I was like, that's something crazy. He's like, yeah, but I have to keep my word, man. Trying to keep these people motivated. But he went straight in, the motherfucker and popped out like nothing. It's crazy.
But he didn't freeze.
No, he said he was all right, but he was in his uniform. I'm hoping he had some like undergarments, but yeah.
Yeah, it's good to have people to talk to, and yeah, it's especially for guys. You know, we kind of have we have a lot going on in our heads, even though we come out like we people will see us and think, oh, we're good, you know, but we have a lot of demons in our head, pressure that we don't, because as soon as you're born as a man, there's pressure.
Yeah.
There's pressure. We constant pressure to deliver, to produce.
Yeah.
You have that pressure to produce. So, and sometimes it gets to us. And if you don't have that little outlet to actually, vent or to talk about things, to see things clearly, because sometimes some people would try to, some people would reason. There you see reason, because when you're all in your head by yourself, I think it's sometimes dangerous.
Yeah.
For me personally, that's just what I think.
I think
You know, that is good. So you said that you had a lot of guys, hovering. What do they call those guys that just hover around girls that they want to date?
I don't know.
What was it about Mike that stuck up? Because I'm sure that some of them look like him. Some of them, they had the tattoos.
I
they
don't know,
were-
bro. I don't know.
Hey man, so
No,
some of them would look like, but not exactly like them. But they got the tattoos. They got the pickup trucks. I don't know what that's pickup
my
trucks, but
personality, I have a strong personality, and when
you were around aggressive dudes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what was it? What was about Mike that stuck out? That okay, this is different.
More so like the way you carry yourself. The way you
Did he
carry
wear those
yourself.
shoes?
Huh?
Did he wear
No.
those shoes the
No,
first time?
back in the day you did. You were like catching in Jordan back in the day. And some shots every now and then.
So what exactly, like, what stood out?
His the way he carried himself, his alpha male, like.
I'm sure you were around those guys. I'm sure you were around those,
Yeah.
quote unquote alpha, those guys that are
Well, I guess what they
aggressive.
what they thought were what they thought
Yeah.
were alphas, I guess. But like the way Mike was just like, I don't know, just more about business. It wasn't like trying to put on a show like a lot of the other guys.
Okay, so the other guys, they were just posers. They would just show things that they don't have.
Yeah, or that they were just, they want to be the loudest one at the party or the coolest, they want to, like, but then behind that, like, what else what else do you have to offer? There's not, it was kind of just surface level, but like with Mike, like, he had his truck, he had his, he had all his stuff together, he had his bills, and that was big for us back then, because I was 20 when I met him.
Oh, you were 20.
Yeah, so I think that like most people my age were in that phase of like, are you moving out in your own apartments? Are you still living at home with your parents? Like in that age gap. So to have Mike, like, he's already been in the military for 5 years, and he's already been, paying his bills. He's been, a lot of it was very much like, oh, that's like husband material, or that's like somebody that I would like to be a teammate with, or somebody that I could see myself like, contributing.
Wow, I would think that, because okay, you're a pretty woman, so you didn't have, so there was no like rich dude trying to court you.
No, there's a couple of drug dealers that are like, but that's not right money. That's not attractive.
Did you know, or did you think that they were drug dealers?
Yeah, and some of them would,
okay.
It was just like a talking base, but it's kind of like just a turn off, like, yeah, that's cool. You got.
Wait, they told you that they were drug dealers?
Like when we came from the West Side, like,
yeah,
drug dealers. Even when I was going to Texas State, there's drug dealers there on campus too. So it's not like it's not something that they hide, but it's not something like, oh yeah, bro, I'm a drug dealer. You know, it's not something like that.
What if Mike was though? Would that have?
That would be a no. I wouldn't.
Really? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think.
I think it's ugly. I don't like that.
No, I mean nobody in the first day you meet him, you wouldn't think, oh, nobody talks about what they do, or you wouldn't see it. But when you get to know him, let's say a month in, and then you realize, okay, he's doing drugs.
Yeah.
You are not gonna say, eh.
Yeah, I would. Or I mean, I would kind of like let that fizzle out because that's not something that I want to get caught up in.
What if he got a mansion? He got a Ram, 2 Rams, all pimped out. Like, come on.
No, man, that's just gonna, it's inevitable to avoid problems when you're dealing with a man like that. So I just wouldn't.
I mean, wouldn't you say, okay, what if he told you, okay, he's thinking about getting out?
Thinking about getting out of the drug dealing?
Yeah.
Or military?
No, drug dealing.
Okay. So I mean, like, all right, cool. We'll see what happens. What's your game plan after that? Just
he has the game plan. He told you every plan, all the thing, all the shebang. Like he told you all the thing. I don't believe. Like I don't believe that just because of one thing, and you've gotten to know him. Like it's not like you guys are just you just saw him yesterday. You've gotten to know this man, and it's just one thing that will make you say, eh. I mean, because you say that you've been around this man.
That's a big part, though. I mean, that's such a big. And then anybody that's affiliated. I mean, you can't help but get your hands dirty too. So I don't think I would ever want to get wrapped up in any of that. And I just
I don't think that men and women date the same way, because okay, you might have the best person, like let's say you exactly like yourself, but you're weighing 300 pounds. Mike is not looking at you, like regardless. But with him, you getting to know his person, like he's the same person, this same person that you're looking at right now, but he does that, and you get to find that out later. I wouldn't think that would really, like, you would shut it down, right? Like, it's gonna be at least a couple of conversations.
Yeah, definitely would be a conversation, but it would be something that, like, okay, are you going to stop? And it needs to
because
stop.
He's stuck out for some reason, and it's not because of I don't know. You said personality. I'm sure you've been around the guys that call themselves alpha, guys that are aggressive, guys that maybe they had a little money. You've been around those guys, but they didn't. Yeah, you didn't get the way you feel like he makes you feel.
Yeah.
So there must be something that was different about him, and it wasn't because of he's the richest guy in the block.
Yeah.
So
it was more of like the protective,
yeah.
Solid protector, provider type person that I would want to be on his team and have him be. I want to be his teammate type person. Like that's what I got from him. He wasn't just only just selfish, or it's about me, or it's about me looking good, or it's about this. It was he.
So all the guys around you, they were just selfish.
I wouldn't say all of them. Maybe I could give all of them the time of day, but there's just some things where I'm like, you're cool. I don't know. It's just not always did I hit it off with them, or it's also like mentality wise, or like the way we grew up was just so different that it was kind of like we don't really see eye to eye. We don't hold the same principles. There's just a lot of different things.
The last podcast we did, I asked Mike, what was it about you? You know what the first thing he said?
What?
You want to guess?
What, that I was pretty?
Exactly. The physical.
Yeah.
The physical. Because if it hasn't been for the physical, you could have the best nurturing, best character, attitude. If you weren't pretty, no.
Yeah.
And that is the same way we got. My wife the other day was asking me, so what if I was a bigger woman? I'm like, what do you mean if you were a bigger woman? We wouldn't be talking in the first place. How would that look? You know, I wouldn't. You wouldn't even
Yeah.
see me around you because I don't want people thinking that I'm talking to a fat woman. You know, you see? You know, yeah. So, but what about my person? I'm like, I don't give a
You
what.
wouldn't get to your personality.
You could be.
I
I've had a
understand.
girl. I've had a girl tell me, you know, she was pretty in the face, had the greatest personality. Like I don't know whether she was trying to compensate for something. Was like, you know, and she has a heart of gold. Like she was, you know, the best, and she's very funny, very funny. Like she's like a guy. She'll watch sports with you. She would, you know, she does all the nurturing, catering. She caters to. And she was asking me why didn't I ever ask her out? I'm like, you're big.
You told her like
I mean, she had to force it out of me. It was a she had to, I was I mean, of course I'm not gonna say, of course I wasn't gonna say because you're big. I'm like, no, you know, it's because I thought this guy was talking to, I thought you were talking to the guy. Like I tried to, you know, and then she was like, no, no, you know, you're bullshitting, you know. I'm like, okay, you're big, you know, and I can't have like it's gonna look bad on me. People won't take me seriously. People like it's gonna look bad. I will lose more being with you than I'm gonna gain from like okay. Because yeah, people I mean, I'm just being
I
like
understand.
in a man's world, like if I show up with a like okay, now I'm not gonna like okay, if I let's say you invite me for something and you've never seen my wife and I show up with a woman twice my size. Because I'm a pretty stocky dude
Yeah.
and she's twice my size. You already your impression about me, I mean, you already have an impression about me showing up with like guys, we judge, we look at the woman that you're with and we judge you on that, your masculine, your level of man. That's how we look at men. Like that's how we look at each other. I can have that.
I agree. Because when we go to like functions and stuff, and
Yeah.
then we see, the guy pull up with a crew, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, when the guy pulls up with a pretty girl, okay, you're like, okay, that dude, okay, he got something going on, you know. But when you pull up with someone like you're about this big and she's about this big, like, is a prop. Like, I would judge. I'm not gonna. I would look at you like, bro. So I mean, I had to be honest. But she had to pry out of me. I didn't want to. She pried out of me.
Yeah.
She cried a little bit. I'm like, hey, it is what it is.
Oh well, let's move on.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you can't, but yeah, that's what. So, man, we kind of, yeah, huh?
Are y'all still friends?
And I knew that was it was, but I know I was coming up to a state where okay, if even though it wasn't because of what I said, like she started dating some guy, so she moved out, so we stopped talking, you know. So you know, I just don't. But it was just it was so something that was very uncomfortable for me, even me, because it's not I didn't want to, but she was desperate to hear because she was saying, okay, I don't ask her out. My guy friends don't ask her out. What is it about her? Guys don't ask her out. What is it about her that you know is that even is get? I'm like, okay, you know, when you get out of the shower, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? You know, so like, what are you talking? I'm like, okay, you're fat, like you're big. What? What? Like, I don't know how else to. Let me cut to the chase. You're big.
Yeah.
This is, and guys, our masculinity is
That's brave of you.
our man. Like, is I can't like guys wouldn't, and I was like, so is it because? But I could lose weight. Yeah, I'm saying you lose the weight, and then guy, I'm telling you the amount of guys that will be flocking around you will skyrocket. I promise you it. But you looking the way you do, we don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to walk into a situation and be embarrassed. I can bring you around my family. I can bring you around my friends. I can bring you around. Like you're the girl that when people are coming to see me, I get you out of the back room. I get you out of the back door. Like you, I had a friend. Yeah, no, no, no. It's true because I had a friend that not a friend, my cousin. Well, my cousin, he has I don't know what they say. I'll call it a fetish for big women. So I know. I think I'm the only body. I'm the only person that knows. So one day, well, nobody knows him. You know, so nobody knows I'm talking about. So he's happily married now. You know, But one day a friend of mine came. We went to his place, and then and then we knocked. His car was out front, but we were like, "Is he home?" We kept knocking. So we were about to leave. I got a text on my phone and said, "Yo, bro, come out back. He's open." I'm like, so I told the other guys that I'm with, hey, hang on, let me. He said, bro, you gotta. So I came around by him, like, bro, you gotta get this chick out of here. I'm like, what chick? Is the big woman, So I'm like, you gotta get her out of here, out the back. So I'm gonna go let the other guys in. So I mean, that's what guys would do. Even the guys that are attracted to big women wouldn't come out and say, okay, wouldn't show her off. I mean, it is what it is because our masculinity depends on that. Like, it's not like you can't just show. So we are more like we are invested in how you look. We are invested in how you look. So that is one of the first attraction trigger. You're beautiful. You're slim. You have a good body. You have a good shape. Okay, now we can talk. Now I can see whether you got a good personality.
Yeah.
Even some guys will take a complete biatch because she's pretty.
Mhm.
A complete B because she's pretty, and
Yeah.
guys do that a lot. Guys would rather take the beautiful, crazy lady than the very, lovely. Like nobody wants. Like I don't know, man.
No, they don't.
My parents would cuss me out if I showed up with a big woman. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm probably gonna get canceled for this, man. I'm probably gonna get canceled. I just don't. Yeah, this is crazy, but it is. It's just it is what it is. I don't like. That's when you were saying, the first thing was the attraction, was the physical. I'm like, yeah, it's got to be the physical. Every other thing comes second. The physical, yeah, the physical comes first, man. Man, but I'm still surprised that because I always try to know what it is about a guy that would, especially a pretty girl that has guys flocking around her. Like I'm sure you met some of them guys
Yeah.
that were flocking around her.
Yeah.
How you stuck out,
Mhm.
you know. I was just curious about that because there's got to be, because I'm sure that there will be guys that are aggressive, there are guys that are tattoos. Like, so what is it about you that made you? Were you direct with her?
Yeah, I was pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Like, like what I was going through, what I was dealing with. Just got back from Iraq. My dad just passed away. And I was telling her that, like, I live in Killeen, so I'm a good little ways away, but I come home on the weekends. And I told her I was just trying to look for a change of scenery, really. I was just trying to find a new group of friends or new people to hang out with because the people I was hanging out with before were kind of like just dragging me back into the same, like, patterns of, like, negativity. So, I met some of her friends. We started partying, hanging out with them at, like, bars and parties and stuff like that. And they were all pretty cool, chill people. And they all told me the same thing. Like, what are you doing to her that's, like, different? Because she's like a man eater. Like, everybody that tries to mess with her, like, don't give a shot, don't give a chance, don't get a
Man
shot.
eater. What's that?
Like, almost like nobody gets a shot, nobody gets a chance. Like, nobody had I guess, like, a shot with her, like a man eater. Calling you, right?
Man
So,
eater.
like, what is a man eater?
So do you like use them or something? Like,
not so much use them, but I mean, it's just kind of I was just going out on dates just to get to know different people because I had only known the people that I had really like grown up with and went to high school with. Like I didn't like that was kind of just all that I had really known. Like I wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't want to like date somebody that I went to high school with, like outside of like high school. So just going out on different dates, just like seeing what they're about, going out to dinner, letting them pick the place, just kind of getting a different like taste of like what other people like. And, but I never really felt like I don't know, like a spark with many of them. Like some of them, like they were entertaining, but also just like I don't even know how to explain it. It's just kind of like just kind of pass time
Entertain.
and
Hang on. All right, we're back.
yeah, but it was just kind of getting to know different people and
Yeah.
and yeah, they were like, well, are you? How was the date with this guy? I'm like, oh yeah, he's all right. She's like, well, what is it gonna take for somebody to like?
So when you went on a date with him the first time,
Mm-hmm.
he said something different that you've never like no guy observed. Like I'm just trying to understand. Like how did he stick out?
So it wasn't just so much like the first date. The first
Yeah.
date kind of like solidified, like, oh yeah, I like
Oh, you knew him
him.
prior before the date.
No, so we were texting before the first date.
Oh yeah, you
So-
guys used the
Yeah.
dating app then.
Yes, and
Okay.
then we exchanged phone numbers. So
That was
then
our first time meeting each other. Was the
Oh.
date, our first date.
Oh.
Not even a blind date almost.
yeah.
We knew each other through phone calls and text messages, but we had never met each other.
Mhm.
So we pulled up to the restaurant, and I was like, "Oh, what's up?"
Wait, you never saw her picture?
Well, I saw
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, ooh, that's dangerous.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen her in person. Now I wouldn't do that, So I had never seen her in person.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm sitting at the restaurant waiting, and then she pulls up, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm in this kind of car or whatever." I'm like, "All right, well, I'm in this kind of truck," and then we all walked out together, and we're like, "Okay, all right, yeah, okay."
If she was twice the size she was,
I would have had lunch with her, and I would try to be nice, but
yeah,
that would be
it.
Yeah, hey man, my friends are in town.
What what if she was like she was the best date you ever had?
Well, I think she was in a long time, honestly.
No. I mean, but she was
big?
big, yeah.
Oh yeah, I could maybe be friends with her, but I tell her straight up, like I don't see physical attraction kind of way.
Yeah.
Like you're a really cool girl, really chill, really, like have fun with, but
Mm.
I just want you to know that I'm not trying to get any type of physical relationship with you. And if she didn't want to hear that, then I was like, all right, cool, nice to meet you, and that was it. I wouldn't just write them off because I think I have some friends that are big,
Yeah.
they're cool people and stuff, but
What, female friends?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but I would try to be nice about it. I wouldn't be just like
You don't have any problem with him with the female friends?
No. I mean, if you haven't dated them, cool. But if you like have dated or been like intimate with these girls, like
What if one of them looked like Megan Fox?
then I'd be like, what happened? Why weren't you with her? What happened? Or she shot you down or what?
And he's no, we're just friends. We've been friends.
Alright,
Would
cool. Would
that be the end of the conversation? Would
Yeah,
that-
I would take his word for it and then just see their interaction. But if he's giving me his answer after I already asked, then
yeah.
that's what I'm gonna take it for until you prove me otherwise. So we'll see how you.
So you wouldn't a little bit be like, what is happening here? Is Megan
Yeah,
like
right off the bat, I would question like, she's bad. Why are you? What?
But I'm-
on that? Or did you try to shoot your shot and
Yeah.
shut it down, or like what happened?
What if he said
I would
yes?
ask, like, okay, well, I mean.
What if he said yes, he tried, but she shut me down, but we're friends?
I wouldn't care then as long as it didn't get to like the next level.
Yeah.
I mean, if she's pretty, I'm not gonna hate on a pretty girl.
I would be trying to get her still though.
What?
The Megan Fox still though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still in the picture.
No, before. I just
Oh,
feel like,
well then yeah.
you know? You're like Megan Fox. I feel like you go that quick.
Yeah. I mean, you will feel a little bit threatened.
Yeah, I would feel. Yeah, just.
But with the friends, are they watching it? Would they be watching this? Would they be
Maybe.
watching
It
this?
depends.
Okay.
But no, I mean, I wouldn't feel threatened. Like if it's just like if it's somebody who's just like legit his friend.
Yeah.
Cool. But I've asked him like, have y'all been intimate, or is it somebody you have dated? Like I'm not gonna be sitting here chopping it up with you guys. Like that's not gonna sit well with me. And he's asked me that before. Like one of his exes was like, "Oh yeah, she seems like a good girl. I can get your kids a baby shower gift." I'm like, no, we're not gonna cross that line. We're not gonna let it get that messy. Don't bring it up again. That's how I feel about it. So there's a line where it's like, okay, if this is friends, cool, I don't care. But you're not gonna like tell me I should be like your ex girlfriend should be in like our friend group or like that's where it gets too messy. But if it was a pretty girl and you shot your shot, she shot you down still,
Yeah.
like nothing really happened between you guys,
Yeah.
then it is what it is. You know, but deep down, yeah, I would kind of feel maybe a little threatened, like, you still gotta think for her, you know. But I don't think
Is it impossible if he told you that okay, girl looking like Megan Fox is his friend and he never asked her out or nothing like that? Would you believe him when he tells you that?
yeah, I would. I believe him.
You
If
sure?
yeah, I would ask twice. And then,
I was like, show me,
sure,
just tell me.
you sure?
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe because even being somebody pretty, I mean, if you have a fucking attitude, like, then,
Yeah.
you know, Mike's big on that too. Like, if your personality is like shit too, or you act entitled or rude, you know, there's a lot of other character traits that will turn somebody off, regardless of how you look. But I think that Mike has a good judge of character, like with people. So
But how much would character play if she's really gorgeous? Really, like
I mean, it plays a lot with me because like I'm not trying to take you around people where they're uncomfortable. Like, because I would know my friends and my people
Yeah.
and the way my upbringing. But if you're gonna be like, like a stink attitude about that, then that's who I am and that's where I come from. So then we don't need to get along. Or we can't get along if you can't accept like who I am, the people that I grew up with and stuff like that. So that's what I mean more by anything else. 'Cause honestly, when I first saw her pictures, I thought she was gonna be kind of like a high maintenance.
High maintenance
like,
because she's really pretty. Yeah.
She's pretty as fuck. So I can't not hit her up. So I sent a message. Didn't expect anything in return. I don't know how long it took before she responded back because I can't remember or even what I said. But I mean, her attitude was really good, so it made it easy. But I talked to girls who were like, I need this, I need that, I need to be, treated this way and that way. And I'm like, well, I can't do this shit. Like,
and that is the thing with pretty girls that we get to go through because as soon as we see a pretty girl in our head, we are contemplating the good and the bad. The good is gonna be your pretty. The bad is there's a whole lot that's gonna come with that pretty. The demanding, the upkeep, maintenance, the ego, it's gonna be a whole lot. Like, and so we gotta factor that in. So Mike was already judging your picture based on you before he even met you. Yeah. Yeah. But sometimes we want to be wrong. That's why, because we cannot help but because it's either DM the pretty girl or DM the big girl, and yeah, and
just like average weight, like just
what is average weight? Because you got to factor in kids if you want to have kids, and then if you're average weight, so that means you're gonna be big when you have kids. Now I have to live with that because now you already have my children, so I can leave you because of that. It's just a bad situation. It's just so it's good to because you got to think about there's no average. I'm not gonna risk that, man. And we'll tell, oh no, I'm gonna go to the gym exercise. No, you are not going to the gym. You got children. You ain't got time to go to the gym. Yeah, you're lying. You ain't got time. You ain't got time. Anyway, this has been a really good this is really big. Yeah, I love the conversation. It's just like this last conversation we had here. It's just that the camera wasn't on. Relationships are a lot. I see a whole lot of relationship dissolve. Then I don't even think I've seen married couples that have been married for 12 years. I've been here for like 12 years. I've not seen a relationship that lasted that long. And it's kind of disheartening.
It's hard work,
It takes a lot, especially for two people that don't, it takes a whole lot. And I keep advising people, try to get, some people because if you're saying you're gonna do it by yourself, then you're setting yourself up for failure because the last thing you want to do is you by yourself with your own thoughts. because your own thoughts, they're going to lead you to doing things that might be detrimental to the relationship.
Yeah.
So they have a little bit of outlet, especially for the guys. Guys do have a lot of mental issues. We have a lot of pressure on our shoulders. And for the women, get you not, you're saying, I'm not saying go to your single friends or nothing like that, but have some kind of, especially family support. So that's but it's good hearing the stories, and I'm always fascinated about you guys. You guys have been in it for 12 years. That's more I've seen than most couples that I've seen. The average marriage in the United States is about five years. 5 years it gets, yeah, they get divorced. Women file divorce 90% of the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so yeah, so that's why I said it was rare for that. The story you were telling me, the dude to file a divorce, that means she did something
Yeah.
like something that the guy can get over.
Mhm.
Men don't usually file for the women do file, and the number one reason why women file for divorce is cash, money, finances. So the man losing his job,
Yeah.
she's gone. If she gets a good, better job than the husband and get or a promotion, started earns more than the husband, she's gone. So it's just all messed up. It's just all messed up. So it's good that there's still couples like you, and and I like doing this so that I could show people, because on social media is bad, man. It's bad. People just the gender war is fierce.
Yeah.
People don't even want to get married because people are like, especially for guys, like, why? So that she could take my kids, take off my shit, take my house. No, hell no.
Yeah, you
You
go
know.
into it with a negative mentality.
Yeah. So but when you look at the divorce, the marriage statistics, 50% of it ends in divorce. 50% of marriage in this country ends in divorce, and women are filing for 90% of the divorces. So when you look at those, it's not like, okay, especially when you got something to lose.
Mhm.
It's not convincing. It's not convincing. It's not especially for the guys.
Mhm.
It's not convincing. When she decides to leave, she's taking the kids with her. If you got something, the house is coming with her. Half your shit is coming. Like, it's not convincing. It's not. It's not. Yeah.
Whatever you want, love, but she'll take
Yeah.
you.
Could you imagine? Yeah. If you're in the military, or man, come on, man.
We got divorced, she's taking half my retirement. So it's like, damn.
You were in the room with South Korea. You didn't go with him. Did you go with him, South Korea? Yo.
No, we just got our very first house. We were still watching it getting.
No, I mean, like, you didn't, like, God knows what he was doing in South Korea. You weren't there with him, like, so why would you be preview or be eligible for his half his pension? Sometimes it's even more than half.
I think
They say because if
you
you,
married a certain amount of years.
10 years, more than 10 years, that you'll get half of my retirement. So we've already passed that threshold.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's hard, but that's the way the fucking rules are written. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
it shouldn't be that way though.
This is America. This is what they did to us.
Nobody, I don't think anyone. I mean, if you want to say, okay, I'm gonna delegate my pension to her, it should be your choice, not the
Yeah, I
government
think so
trying to
too.
force you
I
to.
think so too, but I would hope that
You
in
know.
that part, I guess it depends on how it ends, the marriage. But
Mhm.
if that was me, if I was the other person, I'd be like, I don't even deserve that. That's yours. But nowadays, everybody's like,
Yeah.
it's mine too.
Yeah, it's mine
And
too.
I
Yeah.
understand. I'm like, okay, you woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day, and blah blah. Right? Yeah, you were there to fill. Yeah,
Yeah.
you were there unemployment. Yeah, you were there. But
Yeah, it's just so that's why having you guys' story is kind of always fascinating to me. A lot of this story should be told out there, that especially for guys, to see that there are actually good women out there. It's not all it's not all bad. It's not all bad out there. Anyway, you have anything to say?
no,
You
it was
guys?
a great conversation.
Yeah.
Look forward to some of the future.
Oh, we're gonna have
Always open.
a whole lot more of this, man.
Yeah, always open to it.
I will come up with more topics. I will come up with more topics. And there was a video I wanted to play, but it's about. And then I thought about your work. I'm like, okay, now I can show this. Yeah, I can try to. Yeah, I know that there are things that you can talk about and things that you can, especially in the middle. Yeah, you're in the government, so you can talk about it. So I have to watch out for that. So anyway, yeah, it's good talking to you guys.
Talking to you.
Let's end.